Umpire Robinson to bounce it down. The start of the 1987 Grand Final. Hawthorn have got an extra man in the centre square. Remarkable. Carlton free kick immediately. It'll be taken by Johnston. Well, Johnston goes long down towards half forward with a high kick. Dorotic is on the forward line. Mark in front. Strong mark is taken by Hunter. And Hunter is only 35 metres out directly in front. How can that happen in a Grand Final? 5 players in the centre square.
Obviously, they have man on man, and they were not counting as they looked at each other. Johnston into the centre, and maybe the centre man for Hawthorn was in there as well.
Kenny Hunter shuffles in. Kick is going to be close. I think he's missed. He has. It's a behind to start the Grand Final. He could have done better.
It's not a good kick from Ken Hunter, but as we said, it is blustery out there, and we might see a little bit of that during the day.
Chris Langford with his typical long kick right out toward half-back. There's Fraser Murphy. Oh, beautiful tackle made by Gary Ayres. Kicked away by Russo. Robert Di Domenico, a hurried kick. It comes out to David Glasgow. He's got it. Centre wing, a high floating kick towards the forward line. Dorotic, front position. Fisted away by Langford. All players go in hard. There's Paul Meldrum. A hand pass to Wayne Johnston. Now is it a free kick for a trip? It is set up by Ian Robinson at the centre half forward position. Let's look at it in replay.
And watch again the tackle. Too high anyway, the first tackle. And there's no doubt it was a free kick.
Wayne Johnston, a great finals performer, a great champion for Carlton. Can play in many, many positions and is a top kick for goal normally, Wayne Johnston. There's the drop punt. It floats and it's a goal.
No doubt about that. Wayne Johnston, a very reliable kick and goal, and an excellent start for the Blues. First 2 scores on the board. Meldrum ducks, gets the hand pass across, and I wouldn't have played the triple. I thought that Wayne Johnston tripped himself.
That's a very lucky kick, I agree with you, Bob.
Again, we see it going through the centre. No doubt about the goal, but a big doubt about the free kick.
Great start by Carlton. Back in the centre, there's the bounce. One down by Madden. Knocked out of there by Russo. Taken now by Glasgow. A hurried kick towards half forward. In comes Collins down there. Paddles the ball across his own half back line and swings play towards the grandstand wing. That's the Mendes side. Good mark is taken by Dennis. Back towards the back pocket. Dorotic is down there. He's the target. Knocked away by Mew. Brilliantly played by Dorotic. Great dexterity. Gets it across to Meldrum. And he's missed to the right-hand side.
Well, you could see Dennis by that kick that the breeze took that right across from left to right. There's Paul Meldrum. As we said earlier, 5 best on grounds. Number 23 for Carlton early in the season. The Brownlow medal. Chris Mew doing the kicking in. Langford has done it so far in the match, but they're playing man on man at the moment in that defence and following their opponent. There's Russell Green, a great finals performer for Hawthorn over the years and always plays well against Carlton. Green to Swab. Peter Swab, a magnificent game last week against Melbourne. Back to Russell Green. Long kick, Dermot Brereton from the side. Couldn't take it, but there's Morris going in hard. Di Domenico, a clever hand. Platten, too high. Play on, the advantage is called. Bacanara waits for it. Alvin. Play on, said the umpire. In they go very, very hard at centre half forward for the Hawks. And the umpire, this time it is Ian Robinson, will come in and bounce it.
Typical Grand Final start. They're going in solidly. Bounce down inside 50 Hawthorn's way. Rucks go to it. Paul Dio is up. It's knocked away by Johnston. Scrambled out of the pack is a chance for Schwab. He goes goalward. I think he's off target. He is. First score of the Grand Final for Hawthorn. 1-2-8 to a behind. Peter Schwab manning up with Wayne Johnston at the present time. Big congregation at centre half back for Carlton. They'll fan out as the kick comes in.
Not many Hawthorn players bothering to go in there. They're waiting for them to come out.
That's the right tactic too. There goes Kennedy straight down the middle. Pretty good thinking. Awkward bounce. Di Domenico crashes his way through and again. Down he goes. Forearm from Johnston. And Dipper's laid out.
Should be reported.
Oh.
And I think he is reported. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Umpire Robinson with the pencil.
Well, that just shows how tough the Di Domenico is, because he was hit pretty hard. But I'll tell you what, he got straight up, Bob, and he's a pretty tough cookie.
I think Dipper said me.
He's a great character, and what a great final.
On replay again. There it is.
Point of the chin, Bob.
He might finish it off.
There's the kick from Robert Di Domenico. He hooks it badly and puts it out of bounds on the full. So Carlton on 1-2, Hawthorn on 1 behind as the kick comes out towards, oh, that's out in the full, I think. Yes, it is. So it's a penalty-free kick to Michael Tuck, the evergreen Hawthorn champion, Michael Tuck.
And I think Tuck is going everywhere that Bradley goes.
Well, that's pretty good thinking by Alan Jeans. There's Tuck and a long, booming 60-metre kick. Brereton from behind couldn't take the mark. David Rhys-Jones has got the big job on Dermot Brereton. That is brilliant play by Curran. He picks it up, hooks it back, but he's offline and puts it through for another point. And that is to Hawthorn. So they're on 2 behinds. Carlton on 1-2.
6 points the difference. Kick in from Dean is a short one. Wide of the mark. Fumble from Rhys-Jones. Now he's in trouble. He's claimed by Morris. And watch the decision. It's going to be a Rhys-Jones free kick. He was a bit lucky there.
Very lucky.
David Rhys-Jones, one of the controversial characters of the VFL. Untidy hand pass intended for Robertson. Albin comes up, reads it best for Carlton. Kicks it around the outer side. Kernahan's the target. He takes the mark on the speedo sign outer side in front of the southern stand. Stephen Kernahan, one of the superstars of Australian football, gets 15 metres, the penalty, meted out against Jenke. He drives it long, intended for Dorotic.
I'd be a bit worried about Chris Mew at the moment. He's not moving like he's with it at all.
Well, I agree with you, Bob. That's 2 marks that he hasn't even contested with his opponent. I would be very, very concerned because that's not Chris Mew's sort of form. Dorotic has played centre-half back all of his career at Carlton. He has played a lot of centre-half forward football in Perth, but he is 20 metres out. Very slight angle. There's the kick. John Dorotic. It floats across the goals and, in fact, is through for a 1 point. So a bad miss. 1-3, the Blues. Hawthorn, 2 behinds as we see Robbie Walls in the sunglasses at the back. And a big day for him.
There's the kick in from Ayres, going straight down the middle, trying to knock on Langford. Kernahan pumps it Carlton's way. Dennis has got the run of it towards the outer sides, and the pace from Fraser Murphy on the assist. Gets it back to Dennis. Good tackle by Jenke. The ball is jarred free, and it goes out of bounds in the right full forward pocket. What a day it is. Here's Fraser Murphy.
On the replay, Richard Dennis takes it, but Russo smothers the ball, and over the boundary it goes for a throw-in.
Superb conditions. Perhaps a little too warm for playing the game. Johnston's got the ball for Carlton, shovels the hand pass out. Russo gets it wide, taken by Kennedy. Close to the boundary line, no space in which to operate. It's out of bounds and we'll have a throw-in.
Very clever play, that by John Kennedy. As we see the season's marks average, slightly in favour of Hawthorn, but Kennedy, big job today on Kenny Hunter, who played so well against the Hawks in the second semi. Now, here's Paul Meldrum, he's got it. A beautiful hand pass further afield, a shot at goal is offline, and that was by Mark Nayley, the South Australian, number 17. There he is on screen with the long sleeves. He'll be able to be picked up easily today. 1-4, Carlton to Hawthorn on 2 behinds, and this time it is Chris Langford about to bring it back into play. And there must be 18 or 19 players around the centre-half back area for Hawthorn. Look at that kick by Langford, a long kick. Di Domenico can't take it. Oh, Bradley to centre wing. Oh, great pace by Bradley. Beautiful backing up as Peter Dean comes away. A lovely pass to Glascott. This is good play, the Blues. Glascott, a hand pass to Madden. He was going to hand pass it. Now he gets onto the left foot, up towards the forward line. The players wait for the bounce. Out comes Langford, and he does the sensible thing and heads for the line.
Good play by Langford there as Alan Jones has a close look at the situation. Langford and Kernahan running back, so no matter where Kernahan goes, Langford staying with him.
Boundary throw in, worked wide of the pack. Bradley slaps it back into the congestion. Down went Bradley, in goes Platten, held without it. He'll take the free kick. No, it's going the other way. Oh, gee whiz. Glascott to get the kick.
I can't believe that, Bob.
He handballed that forward.
That is a shocker, isn't it?
Yep. Terrible decision. Here's Glascott, outside range, goes looking for Hunter. Off hands, behind, a chance now for Ayres. Awkward looking hand pass comes to Jenke. Jenke back to support, and the ball is cleared out of the zone with a long kick from Langford. Johnston gets on the end of it and takes the mark forward at centre wing. Johnston back towards half forward. I think it was touched off the boot. Kernahan lunges at the ball. Couldn't
It should have
mark
been a free kick to Kernahan. It
claiming a
definitely
free.
should have been a free kick to Kernahan.
Yes, in the middle of the back.
Well, Dippy's not too happy there. There's umpire Rowan Saws. A lot of pressure on the umpires as well as the players today. Rowan Saws and Ian Robinson, two very experienced umpires. Greg Deere used his body beautifully there. Peter Russo was in there. It's at half-back for Hawthorn as players pounce on top of the ball. Wayne Johnson, some great tackling going on here. And in comes umpire Rowan Saws. Plenty of pressure there, Bob.
From both sides, yes. It's a great grand final at the moment.
It's at centre half-back for Hawthorn. Greg Deere, he's beat for that one there. Greg, this is Gary Ayres, a great finals competitor, this man, as he gets it across to Langford, and Langford gets it out of defence to Morris. It's fisted away by Peter Dean beautifully. Gets the bounce of the ball. He kicks wide. Kernahan and Langford giving him a lot of room there, and Steve Kernahan marks at the 50-metre line. Now, the distance would be a big doubt, I would think. The man I could almost be the number one controller of this game, Stephen Kernahan. If he really fires up today, it will be difficult for the Hawks. He will have to kick from 50 metres. He is on a pretty acute angle. And at the moment, it's 1 goal for Carlton to Hawthorn, 2 behind. Kernahan, it won't make the distance. It's, push in the back by Madden, and the umpire was right under that, Rowan Saws. He pushed his opponent right in the centre of the back.
Yes, foolish play by Madden. At that end of the ground, you just do not give the ball away that easily.
It goes towards the outer side. From behind, Tuck almost the mark. Through his hands. Left the ball behind at the second attempt. Robertson dives on top of it. And the umpire claiming it was held to him. He'll move in to bounce it down. Bounce down right half forward for the Blues, who lead what is a very low-scoring affair. Approaching 12 minutes, just the 1 goal so far. Off the ground by Tuck towards centre wing. In front, Dean takes the mark out there. Or is it Kennedy? It's Dean. Dean on centre wing. Looking for options. Goes long down towards Dorotic, and why not? In from the side, Di Domenico knocks it towards Mew. He rides it bump. He's in deep trouble. Di Domenico comes back in. Down goes Dorotic. Jenky's working over the ball. There's a whistle, and we'll have a bounce.
I noticed Bob Di Domenico went one-handed for that. He had a shoulder injury last week, we must recall.
Yes, but he's still going in pretty tough and hard, so I don't think it's too much of a worry.
Well, I just thought he could have put the 2 arms up there. It's at half-back. Michael Tuck, the big fist away. Schwab, caught. Just gets in the hand pass. Grabbed by Johnston. Johnston from 40 metres fires a goal. Brilliant play by the centreman. Goal.
Magnificent play by Wayne Johnson. He really swooped on that ball and finished it off. Hawthorn had the chance. Swab, we'll watch on replay as Swab takes the ball, tackles, loses it. Wayne Johnson breaks away from everybody, steadies, and that's Johnson at his best as he drives the ball right through and brings up his second goal. It's on behind play. Rhys-Jones is it? No, it's Curran.
Well, as you can see on the screen, it's really on behind play. That was Ian Aiken, the young fella, number 22. And Peter Curran really having the wrestling match on the ground. And coming off, Russell Morris already has been taken off the ground. Young Pritchard coming on. And I think that's because he was playing from behind on the forward line. I'm sure of that. There was discipline.
As he may have been because he lost that one out to Dean on the other side of the ground. It was tipped that Carlton would have a go at Hawthorn. Peter Keenan during the week said that they would have a go.
Right, well, we're back with the centre. There's young Darren Pritchard. What a great moment for the young Tasmanian. Number 41, he will have a tremendous amount of nerves, I would think. A great moment for the young fella as we see the bounce. Madden down to the ground. Carlton looking good as Nailey gets it to Meldrum. He can't trap it. In goes Ian Aiken. Caught. Gets in the hand pass. Richard Dennis picks it up. Left foot. Hooks it back to half forward. 2 men. Hunter and Dorotic. And that Hawthorn back line is looking a little bit loose at the moment. Hunter has created all sorts of problems for the Hawks in the second semi. Well, let's have a look at that replay.
On replay, we see Hunter take an easy mark. No defence at all by Hawthorn.
Hunter from 40 metres out. The third goal for Carlton.
A wonderful start for the Blues. It's exactly what they would have liked. They've put 3 goals for, in fact, 7 scoring shots to 2 on the board so far. And it's a great start for the Carlton side as Kenny Hunter on replay. 40 metres out. Puts it through, over post height, into the crowd it goes. And a great goal kicked by Ken Hunter.
Hawthorn bench. Great kick by Richard Dennis, setting that last goal up. Treatment for Russell Morris, back in the middle. There's the bounce. Madden opposed to Dia. It's won by Dia. The game being played and controlled by Carlton at the present time. Platten out of the middle, boots it towards half-forward. Pritchard is bundled out of it. DP Domenico got a fickle bounce. Crashing his way through down there was Dean. Going against the tide was Platten. And they scramble after that ball on the Hawthorn half-forward line. And there's going to be a ball up.
Barry Breen, what's the situation?
Bob, it looks as though Russell Morris has done some damage to that strained knee, which he hurt last week, and certainly doesn't look very good at this stage.
Rotten luck. There's the bounce. One down nicely by Madden to Nayley. Through the pack it goes. Over the ball is Tuck. Paddles it out nicely. Taken by Russo. Awkward hand pass came back to Curran. He was dispossessed. Out came the hand pass from Buckenara. Schwab controls it on the centre wicket area. No, the whistle is gone. And it will come back to Curran, who was unfairly dealt with after he hand passed out. So he's got this ball on the line of the square, the attacking side of centre. He pumps it long down towards full forward. Burton, the leaper from behind. Off hands, it's all Carlton at ground level. Away comes Glasgow. Bounces once, a second time. He carries the ball deep into the pocket and drives around the southern stand wing.
This is almost to the wing. There's the lovely mark for the West Australian. Richard Dennison, a lovely kick as well as he kicks to half forward. But this time Kernahan is outpointed by Langford. I think they need a little man up around the goals, Hawthorn. They missed out in the last time they played Carlton up there. There's Jenke to Brereton. Oh, good mark by the champion centre-half forward. Dermot Brereton marks. He will have to kick from 55 metres.
On replay, we see the mark of Dermot Brereton. Why wasn't it 15 metres?
It should have been. I agree with you. As Dermot Brereton from 55 metres. Can he make the distance? No, he's hooked it. Now they need a goal very quickly, the Hawks, just to give them that little bit of encouragement. Nayley heads to the boundary line. Two great
free kicks at Carlton.
Yes, it is too, Bob, as we see Silvani taking the penalty kick. It is Steve Silvani right in that last line of defence. Alan Jeans must be a little bit concerned at this stage, even though it's only early in the game. Carlton looking the better side at this stage. There's Dippy Domenico to Greg Deere onto the right foot. Who's there? Dean couldn't take it. He forces it back towards the goals and he'll head to the boundary line, no doubt. No, he doesn't. He brings it back on the left foot now. Meldrum, one-handed. He took it away beautifully. No one to kick it to, and in fact, Paul Meldrum has
shocking kick by Meldrum. He had a paddock in which to put the ball and just blazed away.
Well, Gary Ayres, a short kick to Russo. Russo will go long. He does a long raking kick. Paul Deere in front. Can't take it, fisted away. Dippy Domenico. There's no one up there to back him up. Wayne Johnston all over the ground at the moment. Kicks it away on the right foot, right out towards the half-back line, and the ball rolls over the line. They're falling down on the forward line, Bob.
Yes, they're really missing Jason Dunstall. Paul Deere trying to take the screamer rather than move around and lead. And Hawthorn's forward line all over the place at the moment. No discipline at all.
He'd be happy. Robbie Walls with this start. There's the boundary thrown out his side. One down by Madden. They battle after the ball. Dia tries to knock it out. Rhys-Jones the hand pass. Winning in the race on the outer side. Kennedy across to Bradley. He slips as he kicks. Kept it in play. Diving at the ball, Fraser Murphy. Buckenara met solidly by Rhys-Jones. It's out of bounds. And the problem seems to be, Bob, for Hawthorn on their forward line. Nothing on the ground. Carlton getting there and crumbing very well and bringing it away with ease.
All over the ground. It matters not. Carlton are leading to the ball. They've got the players punching the ball away, and their players on the ground seem to be quicker.
Carlton have an appetite for the game. Certainly that man has. Through the pack from Johnston. Now it's with Meldrum. Meldrum goes over the top brilliantly to Alvin. He tries to crash his way through. Gets it to Kernahan. He spears a pass towards Hunter. And Hunter's taken a mark about 10 metres in from the boundary. About 35 metres out from goal.
I don't think John Kennedy's the man for Kenny Hunter. Hunter has done anything he likes so far. He's already kicked one goal out of the three so far as he lines up from 35 metres out.
And bad luck for Carlton. Johnston off and Gleeson on. There's the kick by Kenny Hunter. It floats across. Chris Langford's there. Kernahan.
Point.
It was over the line, nearly a mark to Steve Kernahan, but in the meantime it had gone through for a point. Now Wayne Johnston, this is bad news. He's really hurt either his wrist or his elbow. I would think he is off the ground, or maybe it could be a finger, I suppose. We'll pick that up in a moment. Chris Mew towards half-back. Di Domenico crashes his way through. A lovely hand pass. Russell Green, they need a couple of goals and they need them quickly. Brereton and Rhys-Jones, clever play Brereton, but there's no small man support up on that forward line. Ian Aiken to Gleeson. Brereton dives in on top of it. Also in there was Peter Dean. It's at half forward for the Hawks and the bounce will take place. Well, there's the season's freeze average, well in favour of Carlton. There's the Carlton champ, Wayne Johnston, getting some attention. It's bad news for Carlton, that, because he is a match winner. There's Peter Swab battling his heart out, tries to get in the hand pass, couldn't do so. The ball was held to him, and Rowan Saws says it's my ball and he'll bounce it.
Rowan Saws in his third VFL Grand Final. Carlton, a very handy lead. One down by Madden. Brereton wide of the pack. Running over the top of him was Nayley. Coming through solidly was Ayres to Russo. Russo, the high kick down towards full forward. It's way off target. Silvani drifting back, takes the mark in the back pocket. The crowd in excess of 100,000 packing the MCG. Short kick comes in from Silvani. Now there's a chance. Curran deep in the right full forward pocket. Pulls it back too far. Getting back, the mark is taken in the opposite pocket by Robertson. Searching hand pass, sets Alvin away. Alvin storms around the outer side, boots towards centre wing. Kennedy under the ball. Hunter wrestles him, goes back after it. Kenny Hunter in front of the southern stand, sends it down towards the pocket. It's a wayward kick. Out of bounds on the full as we go back to Barry Breen.
Wayne Johnson, Dennis, must have sprained his fingers rather badly. He's come off the ground, had them checked, and he's ready to go back on the ground now.
Well, here come the Blues again. They're under enormous pressure, Hawthorn. Over the back is Kernahan as they charge in after it. It's knocked away. Coming after it is Gary Ayres. He heads for the boundary line. Paul Meldrum. There were 2-on-1 and the 2 wins out. There's strong play in defence as we see Russo there. Now it's Collins. Collins from the last line of defence gets the Hawks out of trouble. Ian Aiken has got 2 men to beat here. Curran puts him under pressure. Aiken heads for the line, and in fact it goes over the boundary line, half foot. Gleeson off the ground and Wayne Johnson back on, so that's good news. And Paul Abbott is warming up also, as is Russell Morris. But I'm sure they'll bring Abbott into the fray very shortly. It's in front of the Melbourne members stand. Half forward for the Hawks. Glasgow, left foot kick. And there he is, Abbott, straight onto the ground, and doesn't take long in getting a kick. To half forward, Di Domenico, some strong work. Di Domenico was grabbed by the leg, yes! Has to come back to Robert Di Domenico. He was legged, no doubt about that, Bob.
No doubt at all. In fact, I thought it was a free kick even before that. As Di Domenico from 55 metres out goes short. That's foolish. That's ridiculous play.
But they're playing very poorly on the forward line. Now, Ian Robinson has blown the whistle. It's got to come back to half-back, and the Carlton player has to take the kick. It is Tommy Alvin. No, it's not. He's giving it across to Steve Silvani at centre half-back. That was very, very foolish football by the Hawks, and they are not playing well, particularly up forward. There's Richard Dennis, an excellent mark. A quiet game the last time against the Hawks, but playing a lot better in this quarter, Bob, Richard Dennis.
He's had an excellent quarter so far. In fact, the whole Carlton forward line has, the possible exception of Kernahan. It's an even battle there, but every other Carlton forward on top of his opponent.
Boundary throw in outer side. One backward of the pack by Madden. It's taken away by Jenke of Hawthorn. 3-5 to 2 points. This is Di Domenico running towards the 50-metre line. Not a good kick. It favours Rhys-Jones. He slipped over. Brereton's got a chance. Oh, they crash into him. Johnston was first to arrive, and then a great tackle was applied by number 35.
A shocking kick, Dennis, from Di Domenico as we watch on replay. Great tackling by, well, 3 Carlton players. It finished off with Rhys-Jones.
Yes, Rhys-Jones really crashed in there to apply the finishing touches after Dean had a go at him. And initially it was Johnston. This is Dennis kicking inside 50. Fisted away by Abbott. Wide of the pack, a chance for Langford. Feigns a hand pass, gets around the oncoming Bradley, goes around the outer side. Little chip pass intended for Schwab, and Schwab has taken the mark on the outer side wing.
This is Peter Schwab, and that should be 15 metres. It is an umpire. That could be 30 metres, this. And Peter Schwab
Oh, that's ridiculous,
now, umpire
umpire.
Ian Robinson gave 15 metres. He definitely gave it, then he reversed the decision and took Schwab back to the original mark.
That is not consistency at all.
Well, there's Peter Schwab, bring it towards half-forward. Justin Madden from behind. The big arms go up. It's no mark. It's brought out of defence by the Blues. Back to half-back. The sun in the eyes of the players on that occasion.
I think it was the sun, do you?
I thought it was. You didn't think so, Bob?
No, I didn't.
Well, it's on centre wing, and it's another Carlton free kick. And it is going to Stephen Kernahan, halfway between centre wing. We're into the time-on period of the first quarter. 1986 All-Australian centre-forward Steve Kernahan. As it goes to half-forward, Dorotic. Was he in control?
Holding the man to Dorotic, surely.
As they call play on, it's still in play. As Ayres cops one straight in the head. And that has to be a free kick. Was it Gary Ayres? Let's see on the bottom of that pack. It's not, in fact, it's Ray Jenke. At half-back, what's this? Right in the head. And Ray Jenke plays on and gives it to Peter Russo on half-back flank.
Yes, Russo has the ball on the outer side, plays on by Hander Collins, who runs up through the middle and kicks towards half-forward. Good kick, too, into the path of Kennedy. He's inside 50 now, John Kennedy. Pulls it down towards full forward, gives Silvani touch it. He claims he did. No, he didn't.
Excellent goal by John Kennedy. Now, it didn't come down from the half-back line, or has he been shifted to half-forward? We did indicate that he wasn't handling Ken Hunter as the kick comes out. We're watching the replay as John Kennedy hooks the ball over the shoulder. No chance of Stephen Silvani trying to bluff the goal umpire there, but the goal umpire having none at all as it runs through for the Hawks' first goal.
15 points the margin. Carlton lead it. What is a very tough grand final.
Kennedy is at half-forward, Dennis.
And Dennis Mew has gone on to Hunter.
Madden wins it down. Roved his own knock, couldn't do much with the ball. Whistle, Hawthorn free, and suddenly they're looking better. Michael Tuck's got the free kick. Alongside the centre circle, Carlton player Fraser Murphy came from behind the mark and immediately 15 metres, and a hefty 15 is meted out.
It'll be heftier next year, I'll tell you now.
Here's Tuck. Going for distance, gets underneath it. High kick down towards the pocket. Brereton, the leaper from behind, couldn't take the mark. Off hands, a chance now for Carlton. In goes Platten with great courage. Could have almost got a free kick. Yes, he's going to get it to being held without it. Johnny
Puts
Platten.
himself in, Bob, doesn't he?
He certainly does. If we watch Johnny Platten, probably similar to the one earlier, and it's gone the other way this time.
He's clever, though, isn't he? The way he got rid of the ball in a flash, he knew he was going to be tackled.
Didn't really take possession, did he?
No, it was a very clever. Johnny Platten, 30 metres out directly in front. A high floater. It's very close. In fact, it is a goal.
Hawthorn's second goal kicked by John Platten, and it's 23-14. As on replay, we see Platten come across. He did take possession. Really, it could have been under the new rule. It could have been holding the ball because he did take possession. He did virtually throw the ball out one-handed. So he may have been a little bit lucky watching the replay.
I think I tend to agree with you. It could easily have been a play-on decision, that one. There's Alan Jeans. He'd be a bit happier now. He's made a few moves. He had to make moves because Carlton were well on top, but the Hawks, you can never write them off. As here comes Michael Tuck. He won't give up. He's flattened after he kicked. So that'll be a free kick up the field. Carlton's starting to give away a couple of silly free kicks.
He's reported.
Well, it was a bad tackle. It was a late tackle on Michael Tuck. And the free kick, there's the...
He doesn't look too good, Michael Tuck.
Well, that's two Carlton players reported, Bob. I think that aggression you were talking about is being taken out. It won't worry the Hawks. They thrive on aggression. Don't worry about that as we see Russell Green from half-forward. Brereton, Dipiana-Menico, Dippy! Robert Dipiana-Menico, the Brownlow medalist of last year, has taken a lovely mark at half-forward, and they're fighting back, Bob, the Hawks.
They certainly are, as Michael Tuck's been looked at by the physiotherapist, Barry Gavin. Now, Dipiana-Menico lining up.
I just wonder if Carlton are starting to... a few late tackles. There's Dipiana-Menico, the floating kick. It comes back. It's a goal.
And that's an excellent goal by Dipiana-Menico, and it's 3 points the margin between the sides. They're the pressure kicks. It's on replay again. We see Russell Green put the ball across the ground. I think he was looking for Brereton, but Dipiana-Menico, a very courageous mark. Now the kick. A long kick from Dipiana-Menico. No mistake, the goal umpire does not move at all, and kicked his first and Hawthorn's third.
Impressive record. One at Evia Domenico, the joint Brownlow medalist last season. Knocked down by Madden. In goes Jenke. Now a chance for Collins. At close quarters, the hand pass finds its way to Langford. The high kick down towards half forward. A lot of battling down there. It's fisted away by Kennedy of Carlton. Roving the pack, falling over, in fact, was Dean. Alvin comes in to lend assistance. Back comes Green of Hawthorn. Close to the boundary line they battle. Alvin's in front. He's harassed by Kennedy. It's out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. So the Hawks really now tossing the gauntlet down at Carlton. Carlton dominating play for the first 15 minutes. It's a quarter played in two halves. And Hawthorn storming back into this match. There's the boundary throw in, taken by Glascott. He swings it back towards centre wing. Falling over was Dennis. Collins comes through. Awkward looking kick. Dean comes charging in at the Hawthorn player. Bounces off to you, goes across the boundary line.
Forget the ball a little bit, Dennis.
I think you're right, Bob.
Well, both Carlton players ran at Greg Deere then and just didn't even look at the ball. I agree with you.
They had the ball on a string early. They've lost the string at the moment. This is Curran. Long down towards the full forward area. Over the top comes Silvani. Big fist away. Back towards centre field. It's all Hawthorn. Russo's got it. Russo saw it brilliantly. Men drop back behind the Carlton line. Kennedy's taken the mark. Oh, it's going to be paid.
It's got to be 15.
Yes, has to be. No, he's not going to give it.
I think the big question mark was whether he marked it or was it touch first. Oh, straight off Ian Aiken's hands.
Very questionable. Very questionable.
But cleverly done, John Kennedy, because umpire Ian Robinson was on the blind side. And what an important kick right on quarter time. John Kennedy
sounded.
20 metres out, the siren's gone. There's the kick and it's a goal, and the Hawks hit the front. At quarter time, the Hawks have hit the front right on the siren. What a great comeback. 4-2, 26 to Carlton. 3-5, 23, and there's that mark. And I don't think he really took that. Ian Aiken had first grab.
Play about to commence in the second term, and well, Hawthorn were probably beaten all over the ground in that quarter, and yet they lead at this stage. Dennis?
Remarkable football team. They simply keep coming. They persevere and they persevere. It got them into this game, of course, last week at VFL Park. The kick after the siren against Melbourne. And this afternoon again, right on the siren to lead at quarter time. There's Justin Madden, the Carlton vice-captain. Umpire Soares to bounce it down. A beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky as we start the second term of the 87 VFL Grand Final. It's one down by Madden, taken away by Tuck. He's improved the longer this game has gone, dragged off his kick. Gets a hand pass to Platten, who was pushed in the back, no free. At close quarters, back to Schwab, to Tuck. Tuck's kick comes down towards the right half-forward flank position. It's a foot race towards the outer side. Alvin leads it, and close attendance Buckenara, hardly sighted in the first term. And the ball goes out of bounds, but not before Alvin was held without it.
Well, that's how good a player. You can see the replay. That's a definite free kick, and good player Alvin is. Buckenara not sighted in the first quarter. He's a match winner. There's Richard Dennis trying to crash his way through. Hurry kick comes down towards centre. This is Glascott. Glascott wide. Finds Bradley, who was also quiet in the first quarter. There's the kick up to half forward. Jenke took his eyes off the ball, didn't go for it then. Peters from the place, slipping over on the hard practice wickets. As down to you, Barry Breen on the boundary.
Thanks very much, Peter. Michael Tuck was in a little bit of trouble at quarter time. He's okay. They worked on his nose, may be broken, but certainly okay at the moment.
Well, let's see the score, 26 to 23. Michael Tuck, he'll keep going. He's got a huge heart. The captain of the Hawks, Johnny Platten. Towards centre wing. Oh, gee, this game has changed. As we see Bradley back to Aiken. Aiken a very high floater. Now a lot of the pressure is on the Carlton players. Nearly a good mark to Richard Dennis. Nayley hasn't done a lot so far, and the ball beats him over the line. But all of a sudden, the whole game's changed, Bob.
They do slip around on those practice wickets area for the cricket. That's where the cricket practice wickets are, and in this hard conditions, it is very slippery.
Half forward. This is for Carlton. Kernahan, a hurry kick. Looking for Kenny Hunter. He's got it. A lovely hand pass from Hunter to Bradley. This is a goal coming up. Goal.
An excellent goal by Carlton. Great teamwork. Ken Hunter again leading Chris Mew to the ball. And Hunter has been a very, very dangerous player for the Blues. Kernahan traps the ball well. We're watching the replay as Kernahan puts it out. Well taken by Hunter. An excellent hand pass. Straight onto Craig Bradley, streaming down the ground, and there's no mistake about that, and the Blues now in front by 3 points.
Great hand pass by Kenny Hunter to set up Craig Bradley. Back in the middle, buzz around this ground. They're locked together. The premiership of '87. It's one down to the advantage of Johnston. He started this game brilliantly. I think he's going to get a penalty awarded against him.
No doubt about that. Deep here, Domenico.
Dippy went in so hard then, and the Carlton player just gave away a silly free kick.
Just backward of centre, he drives it long towards half-forward, uncontested. Brereton dropped the mark. He's been quiet this afternoon. Rhys-Jones crashes his way through. Boots a floater down towards half-forward. Good mark, and the circumstances is taken by Collins. They're not easy to mark. That ball was wobbling around in the air as Collins sends it back towards the Hawks half-forward line. Tuck is under the ball. Over the top came Dean, trying to crash his way through Schwab. Down goes Nailey. Ball held to him. And we'll have a ball up from umpire Soares.
See that Peter Schwab, number 30 for Hawthorn, as we see a shot of a very summery crowd. Season's hit-outs average, but talking 23. Well, that's Justin Madden's great work, but Schwab is a tremendous workhorse. There's David Rhys-Jones receiving from Glascott. Over to Wayne Johnston, a beautiful hand pass to Shane Robertson. Robertson runs to half-forward, a daisy cutter pass, a ripper pass that was to a leading John Dorotich, who was marked 40 metres out from goal.
It's a good lead. Lovely pass, and there it is, right onto the chest of John Dorotich, and there's not much opportunity for backmen to be able to prevent forwards from marking under those circumstances. He'll be kicking from about 45 metres out, directly in front.
Well, he had a kick in the first quarter and hooked it badly. Let's see what he does. He's been playing on the back line this year. A shocking kick. I think if he keeps kicking like that, he's put it out of bounds on the full. Back to the Ratbags Jack, the famous Jack Dyer. Great Richmond champion used to say ratbags to the back line. Now this is bad.
Ratbags and squibs, he used to say.
That's right. Coming on is Darren Pritchard, and bad luck for Hawthorn because their captain and champion Michael Tuck is off the ground. So that is real bad luck as the ball is forced to the boundary line. This is a real grand final pressure day. The Hawks have fought back beautifully. At the moment, 4-5 plays 4-2, 3 points in favour of Carlton.
Slight disturbance down behind the goal. Boundary thrown out his side. Deere works his way to the front. Ayres over the top, but only as far as his opposite number, Johnston. Johnston swings it back towards centre half forward. Deep here. Domenico goes back with courage and takes a very good mark.
Playing well, Bob.
Playing an excellent game.
Kicks it grandstand side towards the members' side of the ground. Grabbed by Kennedy. Kennedy long down towards the forward pocket. Knocked away down there nicely by Dennis. He was out of position to take the mark. It's fumbled in the opposite pocket by Ayres. Dorotich about 15 metres out kicks a goal.
John Dorotich taking full advantage of that mistake by Gary Ayres. It wasn't a good kick though from Chris Mew, and I'd be a bit concerned about Chris Mew. He was knocked out last week. Now watch this kick. Very poor kick. Didn't give Ayres a great deal of chance. Meldrum forces the ball forward. Dorotich swooping on it, and through it goes. I'd be worried about Chris Mew though, Pete.
Once again, the Blues through John Dorotich just sneak in front. They're in front by 1-3, a total of 9 points. Here come the Hawks, though. Russo has the ball smothered. John Kennedy beautifully to Platten, and Platten kicks long. Buckenara and Elvin a one-out duel. Elvin outpointed Buckenara badly on that occasion. Great effort by Tommy Elvin. He is well on top of Gary Buckenara. So, with the long hair flowing in the breeze, Tommy Elvin towards half-back. Nearly a mark to Aiken. Could easily have been paid. Probably didn't quite hold it long enough. He goes in after it again, Ian Aiken. Hooks it out to Wayne Johnston, but in the meantime, the umpire said it's my ball.
He deserves that honour of League Recruit of the Year, I think, Ian Aiken.
Yes, a lovely young bloke, Ian Aiken, and has had an excellent year. The two field umpires, Ian Robinson and Rowan Soares. Ian Robinson, his 9th grand final. Rowan Soares, his 3rd. The ball is hooked out towards Pritchard. Here's the ball smothered off the boot. Here come the Blues again, but young Collins, Andrew Collins, heads for the boundary line, and in fact, was that deliberate, said the umpire? I think he might have, and it's a Carlton free kick on centre wing.
Well, watch again on replay. Now, we missed the actual hand pass. I personally would have given it against Carlton because the treatment handed out from behind warranted more than that free kick, I thought.
Bradley a high kick towards centre wing. Kernahan the leaper couldn't mark it. Dennis dives on top of it. He's claimed by Langford, and we'll have a ball up.
There's going to be some very tired players under this 30-degree heat. In fact, I can see as Michael Tuck getting treatment, they need him back on the ground. I can see in the distance the temperature actually is 31 degrees Celsius here in Melbourne, so there's going to be some very tired players. Play on, said the umpire, as it's young Collins again. Good play by the young fella. Off he comes. That's 85 degrees Fahrenheit, in fact. And a lovely mark to Buckenara. He'll come back, this fellow. He is too good a player to be down for long. Off he goes. The short pass is an ordinary one. Towards half-forward. Peter Swabber's in everything. He's tackled hard. Here's a chance. Kennedy was grabbed. He's got it. He hooks it back. He fires. It's close. It's 1 point.
Didn't miss by much. Michael Tuck, the face of a warrior there. He's been in many battles. They need him out there fighting this one as well this afternoon. Kick into play, finds Robertson. Immediately he's held by Platten. The call is play on. It comes wide from Robertson's kick. Alvin towards the boundary line. Back comes deeply to Domenico. And the ball crosses the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. 8.5 minutes gone. Second term in the grand final. And Carlton 5-5. Lead Hawthorn 4-3. Carlton kicked the first 3 goals. Hawthorn the next 4. And now Carlton have kicked the last 2. The 2 goals kicked in this term. Down goes Buckenara. Tries to shuffle it out to support from Deer. Nayley falls on top of the ball. Could have almost been penalised, Bob.
Then it's interesting that they're virtually playing without one wingman. And it looks as though Glascott is going on and off the ball with Platten. But then he goes back to the wing. So Russo looks as though he's got Nayley. Glascott looks as though he's got Platten. And virtually both sides without one wingman, but this wingman is playing a ripper.
Oh, well, we expect that of Dipier Domenico. Over to young Pritchard. Pritchard with a long kick. Here's a chance for the Hawks. Buckenara at the back with the big fist from Silvani. Heads for the line, and in fact it is over the line, forward pocket for Hawthorn.
Look at the way Silvani's punching the ball away. They need more movement by the Hawthorn forward line, leading.
Yes.
That's exactly right, Bob. And Brereton's not doing a lot at the moment. They need him for a beautiful hit out to Russo. Beautiful ruck work that was, and the ball is forced through for a, in fact, kicked through for a point by Peter Russo. So the Hawks move on to 4-4. Carlton on 5-5. 7 points the difference in favour of the Blues. Almost 10 minutes gone, second quarter.
Alan Jean's looking on as Silvani kicks straight down the middle. On the outer side, Aitken takes a very good mark. Will it be paid? Yes, it will. Ian Aitken, the rookie of the season, with the ball on the outer side, looking for runners. Oh, that's an awkward hand pass, taken away from Johnston out there by Green. I think he's hurt his leg out there. Green is holding his knee. Meantime, play goes on around him. Kennedy, sweeping hand pass out wide, taken by Curran. There's the other Kennedy. He couldn't control it. Johnston scrambles a kick forward. Glascott's got it. Hurried hand pass intended for Bradley. Stood his ground brilliantly, despite the fact Russo was bearing down. Now it's with Aitken. Aitken on the outer side. Treads the light, fantastic. Goes down towards the pocket. Dorotic is in front, almost in the back down there. Kernahan behind the pack, but it's pushed across the boundary line, sensing the imminent danger. Langford was back there, and will have a boundary throw in alongside the behind post.
It's like you. I thought it was a free kick to Dorotic, Dennis. It's the way you call it. Michael Tuck still on the interchange bench.
That's a rotten blow that for Hawthorn. He means so much to the Hawthorn side. Here's a chance. Glascott on the left foot. A very, very hurried kick. And he is forced into kicking it through for a behind. So the Blues move on to 5-6, and Michael Tuck is warming up on the boundary line, as is Russell Morris and Adrian Gleeson for Carlton. At the moment it's 5-6 to 4-4, so 1 goal 2. It's only 8 points the difference as Chris Mew, a long kick looking for Collins. Collins and Fraser Murphy. The little fella Fraser Murphy nearly took that. Well done, Collins. Oh, a trip. Has to be a trip. And the umpire said exactly that. And Collins having a pretty good quarter. He's got to come back over the mark, though. There he is. He's still going to give that hand pass. Back it comes to Collins again, and he's doing well. Left foot, a shocking kick that was. Straight into the hands of David Rhys-Jones on half-back flank.
He's doing a good job there.
Yes. Great coaching by Robert Walls. He's throwing down the gauntlet to one of his very talented players this afternoon, and he's doing the job for him. This is Platten. Long kick into the forward line. Paul Deer is down there. Silvani relishes those situations. Over the top, and he goes thump. And it's out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. And the man standing in front of all of that was Kenny Hunter, and they came down on him pretty solidly. Boundary throw in out his side, right half forward. That's for the Hawks. One down by Madden, who's dominating the ruck. Picked up by Kennedy to Dean. Dean the high kick back towards centre field. Deep here to Domenico. What a star he's been. Great mark. He's quick to play on across to Mew. He's had an off day. Mew, awkward-looking kick, sends it high down towards a contest 30 metres out from their attacking goal. It's fisted away by the Carlton defence. Brereton, can he manufacture something now? He's deep in the pocket. Too much carry on the kick intended for Kennedy. He gets his second chance. He's confronted down there by Aitken. It spills across towards Curran. Curran dribbles one at the goal, and I think it may have hit the post. It did.
Well, I thought Dermott probably should have had a shot then on the left foot from where he was, Bob.
Well, it's hard to say. If he'd put it onto the chest of Kennedy like he was meaning to, it would have been good play. And it's probably easier from up here. There's a bit of pressure out there.
Well, there's big Greg Deere and Adrian Gleeson. Oh, some strong bumping. Free kick to Hawthorn could have been then for too high. But
they're letting it go. They've been consistent at least.
Yes, I agree.
They're not giving any Tiggy Touchwood free kicks. They're really letting them have a dip.
Well, that's the way to do it in a grand final too. As we see 4-5 plays 5-6. 7 points the difference in favour of the Blues. There's enormous pressure out there. Deere. Out wide it comes. Peter Curran, the half forward with the great marking power. There's Silvani fisting away beautifully. But Peter Swab couldn't get there.
Behind play.
It's a bit of a dust-up going on the ground there. Dermot Brereton's one of them. Peter Neen's another. Rhys-Jones throws Dermot Brereton out of the pack. Enormous pressure going on at the moment. Rhys-Jones doing an excellent job at the moment on Dermot. Hawthorn hanging in there. Carlton have had most of the play. There's Peter Dean. Left foot looking for Hunter. Centre wing again, the big fist away. Out it comes and the long kick. Comes right up towards the half-forward line. That was by Chris Langford. Oh, the big fly was by Elvin. He couldn't take it. Ian Aiken dashes away out of defence. Onto the left foot he goes. Gary Ayres from behind. Punches it away from Meldrum. Oh, gee, they're tired already, those players. Collins. A beautifully directed kick to Swab. Now, was he off? No, said the umpire. He plays on to the man of the moment. Dipier Domenico, 50 metres out. Fires Dermot Brereton. Nearly a mark. Rhys-Jones, brilliant play, forces it through for a point.
Was it a free kick?
Well, he didn't play it, Ian Robertson. He had a good view of it. Enormous pressure, though, Bob.
No free kick, no.
Good effort.
I thought Rhys-Jones ran straight in, but he did not, watching the replay.
He's inspired Dipier Domenico. And what about the move of Rhys-Jones, challenging Rhys-Jones, Robert Walls, and he's responding, Bobby.
He certainly has. He's put Brereton's missed some sitters, though.
Here's the kick from Johnston, put down. No, he wasn't after he'd kicked the ball. Jenke claiming the mark at half-back. It's paid. Ray Jenke just wide at centre-half-back. Sends the ball out towards centre wing in front of the southern stand. Schwab to Russo. Russo running towards half-forward. Brereton on a lead. He's in front. Rhys-Jones stepped back and then came at him and fisted away. Brereton's claim. They battle after the ball.
That is murder.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brereton had Rhys-Jones by the arm out there. Nailey's got the ball on the outer side wing.
He's getting some rough treatment, Brereton, Dennis.
There goes Nailey with a high kick. Kernahan edged out of the contest behind a chance for Meldrum. One bounce. The speedster's away. He pulls it back, intended for Hunter. And Hunter drifting in, ghosting in behind the pack, has taken the mark. Well, it would be interesting to see Brereton in replay. Meldrum pulling it back brilliantly.
Yes, it could easily have been a free kick to Dorotich anyway, but it mattered not because Hunter easily leading Chris Mew.
Gee, Carlton have missed some sitters, Bob. They have missed some absolute sitters. And
1 goal, 3 to Ken Hunter.
Well, against the side, Dorotich has missed a couple. Kenny Hunter's missed 3, as you said. And against a side like Hawthorn, you can't afford to miss too many up around the goals. It could be costly in the long run. Now, here's Tommy Elvin, who's full of running. He's getting well away from Buckenara, and he kicks long and high. Dorotich from behind, can't take the mark. In goes Mew, fisted straight to Gleeson. Gleeson's caught, drops the ball. Play on as Ayres gets it wide. Russo to Langford. That's magnificent defence as it comes out to Jenke. Jenke wants to go and have a run. He has a bounce. He runs, has another bounce. He's on centre wing. He's still going, Ray Jenke. A hand pass to Kennedy. Back to Jenke. Should have kept going. Back it comes to Pritchard. Pritchard to half-forward, Peter Swab, playing well. Caught, ducks back, smothered off the boot. Tried to do a little bit too much. In goes Buckenara, he dives on the ball. Elvin dives on top of him. And what pressure football this is in a grand final.
Yes, but I think the umpires are deliberately not picking out little trivial free kicks like that. The only one that I really thought they missed was Brereton's there, but they're letting the game go.
Up goes Madden, dominating the ruck. He gets it down to Aitken. Aitken's kick, half blanketed. It goes out towards the outer side boundary and runs out of bounds. So 17 and a half minutes gone, second term, and Carlton lead 5-7-37 to Hawthorn's 4-6-30. Hawthorn's record in 1987 is second best in the league. The best handed in by their opponents this afternoon. Johnston going through with courage. Chopped off by Curran. Good hand pass to Green to Buckenara. Over the top, the hand pass to no one in particular. Glasgow. Oh, brilliant vision. Right across the face of goal. He releases Rhys-Jones. Runners on the grandstand side. The members side of the ground. Taken by Meldrum. Meldrum, ample time, looks up. He's jogging at the present time, assessing the options. Not a lot on. He kicks it high in the direction of Deer. Kernahan came and gave a contest. This is Deer running away with the ball. Already some of these players looking a little tired as Deer sends it back towards half forward.
Carlton not doing well on the forward line. Dipier-Domenico, the log kick is a chance. Yes, a mark. Peter Curran, 20 metres out from goal. What a beautiful kick, Naz. Best on ground at the moment by 1 mile is Robert Dipier-Domenico. But that Hawthorn defence was sensational a moment ago when Meldrum came down the ground. He had no one to kick it to because the men were covered. There's the kick. And, oh, a shocker. A miss. 20 metres out. And it's now Hawthorn's turn to miss.
And Peter Curran's kicked 3 points. 1 goal, 3 to Ken Hunter. 3 points to Peter Curran. Both sides missing sitters.
Rhys-Jones goes towards the outer side in the bright sunshine. Aitken goes across and takes the mark for the Blues. The Blues and the Hawks going at it this afternoon in a classic grand final. Around the outer side goes the kick into the path of Gleeson. It bounces high out there. Deer arrives on the scene and punches the ball across the boundary line. That's Paul Deer. Boundary throw in outer side. Carlton lead by 6 points, approaching 20 minutes. The margin at quarter time, 3 points, Hawthorn's way. Off the hands of the pack on the outer side. Langford dragged off his kick, scrambles it forward towards centre wing, and a very good mark is taken by Kennedy.
That was the top mark. He gave his man 1 metre start then, and John Kennedy took the mark, a 30-metre penalty. He doesn't worry about it. Over to Gary Ayres. He runs to the centre of the ground. He kicks long, a 60-metre kick. Brereton, Rhys-Jones. Rhys-Jones too good. A lovely mark. And he's on top of Durbin at the moment. But a shocking kick because there's 2 Hawthorn men. Abbott. Dipier-Domenico playing a sensational game. Looking for Green. He probably should have kicked it. Abbott's there. Not enough pace. Meldrum gets it over to Kennedy. Kennedy, oh, slow to kick it. Gets his kick it eventually, though, to half forward. It's fisted away. Good defence by the Hawks. Leeson runs onto the left foot. A long kick. He's looking out there for Nayley. Oh, too good, Nayley. He takes it away beautifully from Langford. He straightens up, but full marks to Langford.
Great
coming
play,
back
Langford.
and putting him under pressure.
Great play, Nayley, to win the ball in the first place. And as we watch on replay, Nayley taking it away from Langford. And now Langford really showing pace for a big man, lunging and just putting him off at the last minute.
Short pass into Ayres. Ayres around the outer side. Mark is taken out there by Paul Deer. He's away, swings it down towards half forward. What a good kick. Curran in best position. Great mark. It was a good kick. Curran took the mark. Kennedy wants to play on. It'll come back to Curran. Curran on the 50-metre line. Listen to that crowd.
It had to be brought back. You couldn't allow the advantage rule on that occasion.
No way.
It was a great mark. It was kicked to his advantage, but he really had to arch his back. Peter Curran. Whistle test in. High kick. Hangs in the air. Dorotic in from the side. Fists it towards the goal line in effect. I think he was trying to force a point. It's gone out of bounds, and spoiling has been the keynote as far as Carlton's defence has been concerned today. Silvani and Dorotic, really big fists.
And McKenzie's at full forward as Madden off the ground.
And picking him up is Greg Deer, and Paul Abbott is doing the ruck work for Hawthorn. And I think and Morris has just come on the ground. He's limping a bit. And off is Greg Deer's younger brother, Paul Deer. So a lot of moves being made, but that's good to give Deer a bit of a breather, give Abbott plenty of work. There's a great tackle, an enormous tackle. And Justin Madden, they're with such a hot day, they're giving the big fella a bit of a breather, I would think. 22 minutes gone, second quarter. The difference is 7 points only in favour of the Blues. And the amount of play they had early, they probably should be further in front. Hawthorn have fought back brilliantly. There's Doherty too, hooks it back. That's dangerous play because Platten's there and Kennedy. Platten in after it. Is it holding the ball? No, or is it? No, it's held to him. Set up by Ian Robinson. The bounce will take place half forward for Hawthorn.
Could have been a little lucky there. Doherty's hitting it the wrong way, Pete.
Carlton's record against Hawthorn. Done pretty well over the years, as you can see. This is Schwab, number 30, at close quarters. Got it to Platten. High kick down towards the kick-off line. Brereton. Great work by Morris, but Brereton couldn't hang on. And down goes Meldrum down there.
Just not holding his marks,
No.
Dennis.
Morris keeps Silvani out.
Didn't hug it in.
Rhys-Jones with the ball. That's not a bad sort of a kick, given what was up ahead by Rhys-Jones. He dribbles it out of bounds.
I tell you what, the Hawthorn back line has got right on top of the Carlton forward line at the moment, and well, actually both defences on top, you'd have to say at this stage, as we see the ball on centre wing. Muir's still on Hunter. Kernahan has been picked up. Langford's done a marvellous job on Kernahan. And there's young Pritchard. Darren Pritchard to half forward. Kennedy, good play. Oh, good play. Dipier Domenico to Shepherd. John Kennedy, a short one. What can Brereton do? He's got it. In the back. It has to be.
Dear.
No, it's not, said the umpire. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at a little bit differently. There's Silvani to Mackenzie. Mackenzie on centre wing. A hand pass to little Fraser Murphy. A long floating drop punt. Hunter from behind. No mark. Beautiful play. Morris has done his knee again. There's Kernahan. Can he grab it? The Carlton captain picks it up. Goals!
I think luck's a fortune in that case. There's no doubt in my mind that it was a free kick to Dermot Brereton. It was allowed to be called play on. Mew on replay couldn't quite take it. Naylor lost possession. Hunter brings out the ball, hooks it across. An awkward bounce for Kernahan, and he just kicks it in fresh air, and through it goes. Great goal, Stephen Kernahan, but a little bit of luck and poor umpiring for mine.
Number 23 for Hawthorn. He is not going to get a free kick at the moment. Let's see if the Hawks can come back. They're 2 goals behind. Russell Green. Out comes Brereton. No mark. Well done, Elvin. Oh, beautiful football, Tommy Elvin. Great tackle, Brereton. Oh, no! I cannot believe that. A beautiful tackle, Dermot Brereton. He's doing the block. And I cannot believe that is inconsistency.
Inconsistent umpiring of all time.
Even the crowd have stood up and hooted the umpire. Morris is off the ground, Russell Morris. He won't take any further part in the game, I wouldn't think. The knee has gone on him. That was a very poor decision, as we see the kick coming down to half forward. I feel sorry for Brereton, as we see Aiken trying to appeal for the free kick. The Hawks are in there hard. There's Dennis heading for the boundary line. Kicked away. Ayres cops one in the head. Dipier Domenico has been sensational. Grabs his opponent. Some beautiful backing up, some great tacklings, a lot of pressure, and this is a great grand final.
Yes, last year's game was a visit. There's Russell Morris. The clash between these two sides, a one-sided affair, won by Hawthorn easily last year. It was a poor game of football, but my word, this is all different this afternoon. Great game of footy as Doherty tries to crash his way through. He's dragged down. Down goes Fraser Murphy. Aitken misses the ball. Pritchard's in there on top of it. Back comes Fraser Murphy, and the umpire's going to ball it up. Bounce down on the centre wing. Carlton 6-8. Hawthorn 4-8. Approaching 26.5 minutes. Bounce from umpire Robinson. Doherty doing the ruck work to good effect too. He got it down to Fraser Murphy. He paddles it through the pack. He was held without it. He'll take a free kick on centre wing. Well, Carlton, I suppose the knock on them has been that they're susceptible to ferocious tackling, and certainly they've been challenged by their coach before this game. They had to come out and meet the challenge, and they're doing that at the moment. Diving on top of the ball down there is Big Mackenzie, and we're going to have another ball up.
No, it's
I agree with that.
holding the ball.
Mackenzie should have got the free kick in the first place.
Well, Michael Tuck, this is good news for Hawthorn, is warming up on the boundary line, about to come back into the fray. Chris Mew at centre-half back after that free kick. A very, very hot day. The players already would be feeling tired. There's a lovely mark to John Torridge. It'll be a play on. He got the 15 metres, didn't wait for it, over to Silvani. Silvani's centre of the ground. Here's danger for Hawthorn. Kernahan. Jackie, he's being well beaten at the moment, Kernahan, by Chris Langford, who's playing a magnificent game in defence. He is playing a really top game. Out to the best man on the ground in Dippy Domenico. Dippy goes in after it again. He's got it. Last year's Brownlow medalist, a beautiful hand pass. Collins, he'll give one over the top. No, he won't. Off he goes, and he kicks it to half forward. Gary Bakadara's got it. He wants to give a hand pass. There's no one there, so he ducks away and kicks it out to Brereton. Rhys-Jones, Brereton, a beautiful mark. Off he goes, half forward. He fires a goal, and it's a bad kick. He's missed and put it through for a point. He possibly could have centred it. He had loose men there, but it's a final.
You think he should have played on, Pete?
Probably not. He maybe could have kicked it from there, Bob, but there's the lovely mark.
On replay, no, we're not going to see it now. We saw the mark.
Here's Dean kicking in, going towards the outer side. Oh, great leap by Silvani, and great reflexes too as he hit the ground, and like a panther he reeled the ball back in. Boots to the outer side, knocked away by Jenke out there. Leading in the race is Big Abbott. Sockers off the ground. There's the siren for half-time. And half-time in the 87 grand final. Carlton leads 6-8 to 4-9. That's a margin of 11 points.
Welcome back to the VFL Sports Centre as we see the huge crowd in attendance at the MCG for the Speedo VFL Grand Final of 1987. Let's check the scoreline at half-time. We see that Hawthorn had a 3-point margin in their favour at the end of the opening quarter. Now at half-time it's 11 points in favour of Carlton, leading 6-8-44 to 4-9-33. These are the goal kickers for Carlton. Johnson has 2. Hunter, Bradley, Dorotich and Kernahan 1 apiece. And for the Hawks, Kennedy 2, Platten 1 and Dear Domenico 1. They didn't add a goal to their scoreline at the second quarter. Let's take you back to the MCG now for the highlights of that quarter.
And here's Bobby Skilton to talk about these highlights, and certainly a game of many highlights, the first half.
Yes, some interesting moves, as we spoke earlier. Both sides playing without a wingman, both wingmen on one side of the ground virtually picking up the opposite rover. So we've got 2 rovers on the ball and no wingman on one side of the ground. Carlton having the more effective forward so far. We just saw Dorotich put one through, and the umpires have really let play go. And in this situation, I think a lot of the times that they've let it go, it has penalised the Hawthorn side. But there's no excuses. You make your own luck in situations like that. And Carlton are in front because they've led to the ball on so many occasions. Di Domenico has been absolutely superb. He and Chris Langford have been by far the most outstanding players on the ground. But I'd give Di Domenico my vote. Paul Meldrum, who voted so well in the Brownlow, that was all early in the season. He got that ball across to Ken Hunter. Hunter missed this particular one, and in fact he has kicked the 1 goal 3 so far in the game. Curran backing back, taking it right on the line, hooked over the shoulder, and we see a great goal here by Kernahan. Doesn't take possession, just kicks it off the ground in midair, and it's through for full points. Andrew Collins, another good player for Hawthorn, gets it to Buckenara in towards the centre, this way, that way, and then on to Brereton, who I think foolishly played on, and then kicked it out of bounds. Stats so far to half-time, we see a 3-kick advantage in favour of Hawthorn, 1 in favour of the marks in favour of Carlton, handballs 13 in favour of Hawthorn. So the possessions all in favour of Hawthorn, scoring shots though 14 to 11 in favour of Carlton, and at the moment it's an 11-point advantage to the Blues.
Away we go. Counting down the minutes to the 87 premiership. It's one out by Madden. A chance for Schwab, met solidly by Kernahan. It spills wide of the pack. It's taken by Langford. Hurried kick out wide. The ball bouncing out towards right half forward. Gathered brilliantly by Kennedy. He's claimed. Gets the hand pass away though, despite the tackle of Dean. Running onto the loose ball, it's Platten. Platten on the boundary line. Pulls it back. Curran couldn't hang on. He's going to get the free kick down there.
I think Schwab's in trouble in the centre.
It's in the hands of the trainers. Seems to be okay. Shaken but not stirred. As Curran has the ball inside 50.
Not a bad spot to kick from here, Dennis. He's got the shade of the stands. I don't mean from the sun, I'm meaning from the breeze.
Let's see what he can do. Peter Curran. They desperately need an early goal. Starts it on its way. It swings right to left. They contest in the square. And once again, the evidence of that big Carlton fist puts it through for a behind.
That's the big fist of Stephen Silvani once again, and he's done it superbly all day. Rhys-Jones to bring the ball back into play.
Well, on that half-back line, there's the big fist of the Hawks on this occasion. Oh, Platten, magnificently done. Johnny Platten, he runs to the boundary, fires. Across the face, Silvani's there for Carlton, and is forced over the line. It was not out on the full, said the boundary umpire. What brilliant play that was by the Brownlow medalist of 1987, Johnny Platten. Alan Jeans.
Jenke is on Meldrum. Ayres coming up the ground onto Dennis.
Madden gets it to the ground. Kicked away by Robertson out of defence, and oh, geez, played a good game. Chris Langford on Kernahan. Langford, oh, dangerous, but it comes off. He finds Greg Deere. Deere to Pritchard, and the young Tasmanian runs to goal. It's a high floating kick. Over the back, here's a chance for the Hawks. Was it a push out? It was.
Free kick to Carlton.
It's a free kick to Carlton to Justin Madden. It was too high. Didn't know anyone could reach up that high to Justin Madden's shoulders as it comes towards half-back. The sun in the eyes, I think. Oh, kick by Langford. Oh, here's a chance. Curran. Oh, boy, luck's a fortune.
Well,
Chris Langford's kicked it in the air, Bobby, and it's fallen into the hands of Peter Curran.
Yes, Curran is at full forward now. His opponent, Stephen Silvani, not with him on that occasion. And the luck is a fortune, but what a great game Langford's playing.
Curran in deliberately. Looks pretty good. Goal to the Hawks.
Curran kicks his first goal of the game after 3 points, and that would lift his confidence. And so, on again, we see Langford kicking the ball in mid-air, and unattended, temporarily, Peter Curran. Shot from behind the goals. The replay shows the ball going right through the centre, and the goal umpire didn't have to move.
Peter Curran, the first goal of the third term. Back in the middle, one down by Deere. Strange to think a grand final can turn on a kick out of mid-air. Trying to repeat the dose down there was Tuck. A chance behind now for Brereton. The hand pass goes across the face of goal. Alvin was in there battling hard to his Rhys-Jones. Bodies being committed. Bradley's hand pass not a particularly good one. Working hard at the base of all of that Hawthorn. They've got numbers there, but they're not moving the ball at the present time. Schwab a chance. Thought he was held without it. No free kick. Nayley emerges with the ball. Beautiful kick into the path of Hunter. Couldn't quite get there. It beat him by half a stride. Down he goes. Dorotic is there. Abbott came out and upended Hunter as the ball is scrambled towards the boundary line by Mew. Kenny Hunter is hurt and will have a boundary throw in on the outer side.
On replay again. Shoulder to shoulder. And may have hit his head when he hit the ground.
He wasn't the Hunter there.
Half-back line, this is for Hawthorn, half-forward for the Blues. Tremendous pressure on now in this game. It's grabbed by Paul Abbott. Back into half-forward. Bradley, a hand pass, a wild one. It might have been touched off the boot, that kick. Is it a free kick to Hawthorn? No, said the umpire as they play on as the ball is kicked out of defence, and it's a mark to Kennedy, to Platten. Platten slow to get rid of it, but he just gets his boot to it. Russell Green. Oh, good play, Meldrum. Too good. Beautifully done. Hooks it back magnificently to Kernahan, and that was top play by Paul Meldrum.
Yes, excellent play. And it shouldn't have been hand pass to Platten. It put Platten under pressure, and out of that pressure, it resulted in Meldrum doing superb football to get it across to Stephen Kernahan.
Steve Kernahan has had a quiet day, 6 kicks. And a big task for Stephen Kernahan today. There's always a lot of pressure on the big name players in particular. He's got a kick from about 48 metres here with the drop punt. He is a beautiful kick for goal normally. There's a long floating drop punt. It is close. It is a goal.
2 goals to Stephen Kernahan. It's been a superb performance by his opponent, but that was great play. As we watch on replay now, Meldrum wins out against 2 opponents, and a beautiful pass onto the left foot and right onto the chest of the diving Kernahan, who made no mistake with a lovely kick. Stephen Kernahan, recruited from Glenelg, 49 games.
Back in the middle, Hawthorn looking for a quick reply. Tuck is over the ball, scrambled out by Di Domenico. About 40 metres out from goal, Brereton takes the mark on his chest. He's finally held one.
I can't help thinking, Bobby, that this man is the key to this game. If he starts taking marks, I really think they can win.
He's got the green boots on now, so let's hope from a Hawthorn point of view, only 3 kicks, 3 marks and 1 handball so far.
Well, Dermot Brereton from 40 metres out has kicked a lot of goals in his time, but that's not one. In fact, it is very close to out of bounds on the full, I think, but it's a point. Bad miss. The green boots aren't helping at the moment. 5-11 to 7-8, and Carlton have got a loose man out here in Shane Robertson. Half-back flank. Off he goes. He's a left-footer as he brings it wide. It's a beautiful pass to Richard Dennis. Dennis wants to handball it. Off he goes and kicks a high one towards half-forward. Front position. It's taken by the Hawks. Chris Mew. Oh, he dives on the ball. I thought Fraser Murphy was going to get away with that one. Madden's there. There's Mew. Grabbed by Bradley. Looking for Johnston. Johnston takes a dive. Peter Schwab was upended a moment ago, but he gets his kick to this one towards centre wing. Brereton from behind. Can't take the mark. Rhys-Jones is there, and he's held, said the umpire, on centre wing, and David Rhys-Jones will take this kick.
That's the problem, of course, when you let the game go. It wasn't particularly tough free kick, but it was awarded the umpire standing right alongside. That Sun's a problem with the ball coming in. This is Fraser Murphy off the hands of the pack. A high kick, camped under the ball. Hunter! Play on is the call. Diving in is Aitken. It must have been touched. Falling on top of the ball is Meldrum. And we're going to have a ball up, and Hunter can't believe his misfortune.
Umpire Rowan Saw was just indicating to Hunter that it was touched upfield.
Wait for the bounce then, about 35 metres out from Carlton's attacking goal. They lead 7-8 to 5-11. One down by Dorotich. Richard Dennis out of the pack, he's missed. Almost the opportunist goal. He popped up on the end of that one and missed narrowly. 7-9 to 5-11. Approaching 8 minutes in the term. This is Ayres kicking in. Packed MCG. He comes to the member side of the ground. Offhands, it's taken by Madden. Awkward looking kick. Fraser Murphy couldn't hang on. In goes Langford. Runs into a dead end. Nailey. Meldrum now. 40 metres out from goal. He stabs. He's off target. It bounces out of bounds in the pocket. Tentative kick.
Well, that was a very poor kick, poor Meldrum, because he was under no pressure whatsoever. As we see, Robbie Walls wouldn't be too happy with that kick. 8.5 minutes gone. Third quarter. Most people would imagine that Carlton, with the couple of weeks break, will certainly finish on stronger. There's Dennis having another shot at goal. He's missed again, so he's reading the ball well.
He's winning the ball well, though. He's played a pretty good, solid game today, Richard Dennis, particularly in the first quarter. Faded a little bit in the second quarter and didn't do much, but he's back in business again, and Carlton holding sway at the present moment.
Chris Mew. He and Chris Langford sharing the kicking in duties today. That's a beautiful long kick. He's looking for Collins, but Kernahan was there to fist it away from Collins. Great play, Kernahan, but he took his eye off it. He lost it at the last second, and the ball was eventually forced over the line.
Unfortunately for Kernahan, he moved faster than the ball.
Well, look in the...
But he did well to get it there, Pete.
30-odd degrees it is at the moment. These players will be very, very tired. Richard Dennis was held. Could have been a free kick to that player, but the umpire said no, and the throw-in will take place again.
I think when you look at it, though, let as many free kicks go for both sides.
Well, it's on half-forward for Carlton, the Hawks. And that's a free kick to Hawthorn for over the neck, and it will be taken by Abbott. Abbott hasn't had a lot of football in recent weeks, so he'll be pretty fresh. Paul Deere, Greg Deere, I should say, centre of the pack. It's a free kick going which way? Carlton's way, in fact, for being held was Robertson. Is that 15 metres? No. Shane Robertson, centre of the ground, kicks it wide. Mew and Hunter, Mew the big fist away. David Rhys-Jones gets away from Russell Green. Beautiful skills by Rhys-Jones as he kicks long. Dorotich is there, and Jenke and Ray Jenke backs in front of the pack to take a good mark.
Gutsy mark, that one from the Hawthorn defender. It's a battle of wills at the moment. Both backlines standing up well. Jenke comes towards the member side of the ground. Collins, the hand pass over the top, intended for Kennedy, but it's rushed out of bounds by Bradley.
Carlton do look better at the moment, Dennis.
Yep.
Bob Hawke sitting there with Ross Oakley.
Boundary throw in, centre wing. Madden opposed to Deere. Madden again has the call, but he's going to be penalised. Free kick will go to Deere. A bit tough on Madden, a lot of body work there. And now 15 metres. Deere doesn't want it, plays on by hand to Pritchard, unattended in the middle. Now he's away, one bounce, running down towards half-forward, goes towards the pocket. Curran's in front, Silvani in close attendance, clears the pair of them. Alvin is first back. being pursued by Brereton around the outer side. They still battle. Down goes Alvin. It bounced obligingly out there for Curran. Gets it across to support. Scrambled forward around the outer side by Russo. Grabbed by Green. High kick down towards full forward. Behind it's knocked away by Aitken. In goes Tuck. Tuck's over the ball. Clever hand pass. In the square. Kennedy goal.
3 goals to John Kennedy. And a magnificent captain's effort by Michael Tuck. Had the ball punched away by Aitken, but recovered beautifully, and it was a wonderful piece of play by Brereton to chase after Alvin wide on the half-back flank. The replay shows Tuck get the ball out to Kennedy, and Kennedy puts it through for his 3rd goal, and it's 52-47. 5 points the margin between the sides, so Hawthorn back there with a real chance.
I think the incredible strength of Michael Tuck was shown in that incident in the goal square there, and not many people realise how strong he is. There's Nayley. Hasn't done a lot today, Mark Nayley. There's the Hawks, that relentless pressure. Oh, gee, you never write this team off. They're fantastic, as is Carlton. 2 best sides in the VFL competition this year.
It's a great contest.
It is a great contest. The hit-outs, well, Justin Madden with his enormous height, but Greg Gears battling very, very well. There's Madden getting it out to Alvin. Now Bradley. And young Pritchard. Bradley knocks it on. Great pace, Bradley. He straightens up. He fires. It comes back. And he goals.
I think it's very hard to stop goals like that. The sheer talent of Craig Bradley getting away from Pritchard. Young Pritchard's done well in this quarter, but taking full advantage of that ball coming out there. The skills and pace on replay. A perfect shot of Craig Bradley. Not only does he win the ball well, he finishes it off to perfection, and that was a perfect shot of a great piece of play by Craig Bradley.
They're going goal for goal in the grand final. One down by Madden this time. Kernahan cleverly across to Johnston. His progress was halted. Gets it back to Kernahan. He's claimed by Langford. Scrambles the ball out wide. Robertson's got the run of it. Tries to shake a tackle. Collins well played. The tackle in the Shepherd. Ayres drives towards the outer side. Foot race towards the boundary line. Aitken and Tuck, it's out of bounds.
Youth versus age on that occasion.
Exactly what I was thinking, Bob, because...
That's the age.
And there's the age, a man of about, what, 34?
But I say that with great respect and admiration.
35.
Fantastic. 35 years of age. Michael Tucker, he looks a different man without that long sleeves, but who'd wear long sleeves
That might be the broken nose that changes his appearance.
Well, there's Nayley. Off he goes, the South Australian champ, as he kicks it high. He's under enormous pressure. Hawthorn, Gary Ayres cannot get there, and the ball beats him over the line on half-back flank. Now, at the moment, Carlton just holding sway, 58-47, so that's 11 points the difference. At the 14-minute mark, 3rd quarter, I don't think Hawthorn... I think Hawthorn would fancy themselves in this contest if they were with Carlton at 3/4 time. They wouldn't want to let the Blues get a couple of quick goals. Look at the marks. Nothing in that. The marking, Jules. Abbott doing the ruck work for Hawthorn. There's Collins doing some good work in defence. Towards centre wing. 2 Carlton players flew against each other, and Madden with the long arms is able to take the mark. It's a big advantage, that great height of his, as he brings it towards half forward. The Hawthorn defenders try and get away with it. Beautiful play, Dorotich. Oh, gee, the bounce to Meldrum. This is a goal. Yes!
A very lucky bounce on that occasion, but that's what football's all about. It was great play. I think it was Kernahan who thumped the ball forward. Richard Dennis, I'm sorry, who really set that goal up, punched the ball forward, and Jinky had the run on it. Misjudged it, or a bad bounce, any way you like. But Melbourne took full advantage to put it through for a very well-timed goal.
Well, the Blues sneaking away. Will they be the fresher side? Can the Hawks come back? They do it time and time again. Let's see if they can. There's Dippy Domenico, ran into a brick wall. Could have been holding the ball, but no, said the umpire. It is too high, said Ian Robinson, and he had a very sore shoulder after last week, and if that's the shoulder, he won't be too good after that knock. Big heart, Dippy Domenico. There's a lovely kick to Brereton, and he should mark this. Oh, he didn't mark it because Rhys-Jones put him under enormous pressure. Down the ground it goes. The loose man is there. This is Robertson. A beautiful pass. Dorotic. A great mark. Oh, I thought he marked it. No, said the umpire. The Hawks come back through Ayres to Tuck. Tuck kicks wide. 2-on-1 here. A big chance now for the Hawks. Di Domenico. Great shepherding. He should have kept going. He gets in the hand pass. Russell Green, left foot. Brereton ducks back. Can't get back. They beat him over the line and through for a point to the Hawks, and that was a really good run down right from the back line.
Yes, I do think that Di Domenico just went that one step too many. He was well tackled and a 1 point finishing out of it.
It's a game of inches at the moment. Both sides just needing that break. Rhys-Jones to kick it in. A little indecisive. 9-10 to 6-12. Carlton lead. Rhys-Jones going up the middle. Intended for Madden. It's knocked away by Dia. Roving the pack is Collins. Well played. On the overlap, he gets the hand pass to Buckenara, who's been strangely quiet. High kick down towards full forward. Silvani into the fray. Fists it towards the boundary line. Robertson slips over. Chance for Platten. It's out of bounds and we'll have a throw in.
They've got nobody at the feet of the pack in that forward area, Dennis.
It's been a problem all day for them. 9-10, 6-12, 17 and a half minutes gone. There's the boundary throw in. Madden tries to take clean possession, succeeds. Hand passes towards the boundary line, gathered by Green. He pulls it back, intended for Collins. Too much carry on the kick. Hawthorn have got the numbers. Over the ball is Tuck. He's got some time. 55 metres out from goal. Long kick. Silvani is down there. Rhys-Jones, he's had a wonderful match. He got back in the nick of time and knocked the ball against the post.
Yes, lovely play. Disciplined play by David Rhys-Jones. But the Hawks, you see this. Yes, beautiful play. Off goes Wayne Johnston from the back line. Johnny Platten giving chase. Johnston, oh, big chance here to get the loose man going. But Ayres is there for Hawthorn. Taps it on to Tuck. A bit of experience there. Gary Ayres back to the half. Oh, was that in the back? No, said the umpire. Play on as the ball shuffled further afield. Fraser Murphy caught. Platten has got it. Gets it further afield, and here come the Hawks again as Schwab looking down there towards Curran and Silvani, two former schoolmates battling for the ball. At half-back, and Silvani's put it out of bounds on the full. That was the pressure put on there by Peter Curran.
Yes, he kept going all the way and forced the Silvani into that error. So it's a kick to Bertie Di Domenico.
Goes in short, intended for Schwab. He takes the mark, still outside 50. If you like your football tough, this game is for you as he goes short to Kennedy, who's already kicked 3 goals. Kennedy centres the ball and finds Dia.
Going very short, Dennis.
Yep.
He actually went backwards then. They lost, I'd say, what, 8 or 9 metres then, Bob?
They've had 3 kicks and it's only travelled 10 yards further to goal.
Yes, here's Greg Dia then. Long left foot kick. That's a bomb. He's put it through.
We apologise. Beautiful goal to Greg Dia, and as it turned out, those 3 little short kicks finishing up in a great goal. As on replay we see Kennedy take it, puts a little chip kick across the ground, and then Greg Dia finishes it off with a magnificent goal, kicking it from just short of the 50-metre line through, no mistake at all. A great goal at a vital time.
Fraser Murphy off the ground, Adrian Gleeson on the ground. So 9 points the difference. The Hawks, they never give up. They keep coming back. Kicked away by Russell Green. Should be marked there in the centre of the ground by David Glascott. And it is play on, said the umpire, as a long kick by Glascott towards the forward line. Nearly a mark to Kernahan. Kicked off the ground by Ayres. He's looking out there for Greg Dia. He's got it. A beautiful hand, but gee, Tuck's doing well now. He's on the ball. He kicks to Kennedy. Oh, gee, the Hawks, they're looking good now as John Kennedy takes a great mark on centre wing under enormous pressure. A shocking kick, though, by Kennedy. That was a tired-looking kick. Lands into the hands of his namesake, and this is Michael Kennedy for the Carlton side. He kicks to Madden. Madden and Dia fisted away by Dia. Platten and Kennedy. Kennedy with the left hand. Nayley. Oh, gee, grabbed there by Johnston away from Russo. A couple of mistakes there. Gary Ayres. In he goes. Trips over. Still going in after it. Richard Dennis runs 50 metres out for goal. Richard Dennis fires. He hooks it and puts it through for a point. That's his 3rd
in this quarter
of the afternoon. In fact, for this quarter.
Great play by Kenny Hunter to get it out. They had the number there, Carlton. Should have been a goal. Wait for the kick in. Abbott straight up the middle. Kernahan's in front, waiting behind, almost the mark to Johnston. He does well, gets a hand pass across to Robertson. He's upended. Hand pass comes out then from Pritchard. Back comes Robertson. Robertson scrambles a kick to Bradley. Bradley feigns the hand pass, stabs Goldwood, puts it through.
3 goals to Craig Bradley. He took full advantage of that. Hawthorn making a mistake almost in the middle. They had the chance of getting it out, but then we saw it forced forward by Shane Robertson. Out to Bradley on his own. Feigns, goes one way, then comes back the other, and you can't give Craig Bradley any opportunities.
Should be tempted to try Buckenara in the middle at all, Bob.
He's doing nothing where he is.
And he's best on the ground, Craig Bradley. Only 6 kicks, but 3 of those have been goals. And Buckenara hasn't done anything down on the forward line. Tommy Alvin has really taken Gary Buckenara apart. We know what a champion Buckenara is. He was best on the ground, the centre against the Swans a few weeks ago. Let's see if the Hawks can come back. Dippy Domenico loses it to Nailey. Nailey to half forward. And Chris Langford ducks back to take the mark. He's been well on top of Steve Kernahan today. Langford is a magnificent kick. Brereton and Rhys-Jones. Brereton is not holding his marks. Rhys-Jones is well on top of him at the moment. And it's, oh, gee. Dermott put Rhys down. Has put Rhys-Jones down behind the play. And the umpire's no hesitation in playing the free kick up on centre wing. And that's sheer frustration.
On replay, we see Brereton put him down, but there's not much in it. In fact, he held him up from hitting the ground.
Bradley kicks it around the outer side. Kernahan can't take the mark, and we'll have a throw-in. Approaching 23 minutes in the third term. 10-11 to 7-13. Carlton lead. They've answered every challenge so far in this quarter. One down by Madden. Russo, the hand pass over the top. Taken by Pritchard on the outer side. Pritchard quickly to support. This is Schwab. Eludes Johnston. Drives it towards half forward. Brereton playing from behind. Rhys-Jones, a touch of arrogance about that. Brilliantly done, Rhys-Jones. Paddles it across to support. Dean gets it to Gleeson. And the Blues on a roll. Robertson charges up through the centre. Kicks towards half forward. Hunter fell over. Chance behind for Meldrum. Ball bounces wide of Heian Tuck. Arriving on the scene is Mew. Mew boots it grandstand side. The members wing. Gathered now by Kennedy. Lays it off looking for Aitken. 2 young tyros, and they manage to get the ball out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Well, I've never seen a man look so tired as Chris Mew. There's the lead. And a young Ian Aitken, he's feeling the strain out there too. Madden off the ground. McKenzie on for the Blues. They're saving his energy, Justin Madden. Good coaching. Paul Abbott hooks it back. Buckenara against Alvin. Over the back is Robertson. Over to Alvin and over to Johnston. This is beautiful backing up. Here come the Blues again. Wayne Johnston, a low kick. Kernahan can't take the mark. In there is Tuck. Over to Langford. Magnificent play by the Hawks in defence. And that really was great play. It's a free kick for him in the back. It'll go back to the evergreen champ, Michael Tuck.
Just a question for you, Bob. I think this game is make or break time now. Would you take Madden off or would you go for the jugular?
I'd go for the jugular.
So would I.
I'd worry about what's going to happen in the last quarter at three-quarter time. But at the moment, I would really try and get a few more goals on the board. They've got the break and they should go on with it.
Ball on centre wing. Aitken crashes his way in. Couldn't control it. Knocked wide of the pack by Russo. Battling after the ball is Alvin. Tries to paddle it back through the pack. It's taken by Bradley. Across to Glascott. Glascott kicks towards the boundary line.
Now, if they were consistent, that was no different to the one in the first quarter.
Boundary throw-in coming up. Madden is coming back on the ground, I fancy.
Dorotich, I think, is going off, Dennis.
There's the boundary throw-in then. Dorotich and Paul Deere, neither of them got a hand to it. Johnston going nowhere. Alvin played his heart out for Carlton this afternoon. Aitken scrambles a kick just around the boundary line. It trickles out of bounds. So Dorotich is off. Madden is on.
Carlton playing the better football at the moment. Hawthorn desperately need a goal if they're going to stay in the game.
I agree with you, Bob.
Let's not forget, we thought this last week too.
I'll tell you what, I will never open my mouth and write Hawthorn off. Even at this stage, Carlton should be a lot further in front. They've had more of the play, but the Hawks are relentless. There's a lot of tired boys out there, though. Here they come again, the Blues. This time through Robertson towards half forward. It's a good mark taken by Nailey.
That was a ripper.
It was a great mark on Peter Russo. We'll have to come back. I don't think the Hawks would want to allow the Blues a goal just before three-quarter time. There's the kick. Out comes Abbott. And that's 15 metres. It's got to be against McKenzie. Ian Robinson says no. He got thrown to the ground after he took the mark. No 15 metres, as you can see on screen. There's the kick by Abbott. Out towards Paul Deere. And the young fella's got it. He's on the left foot. He's looking, Brereton's a mile behind Rhys-Jones, but the ball beat them both over the line. Brereton looks a very, very tired player. Rhys-Jones looking remarkably fresh.
I think it's probably because one player is confidence. Dermot Brereton with only 4 kicks. David Rhys-Jones 8. But Brereton just hasn't held his marks.
Boundary throw-in out his side. Madden back on the ball. Punches towards the boundary line. He's been the dominant factor. And we'll have a boundary throw-in out there. That's in terms of the ruck work.
I think if Hawthorn score a goal here before the three-quarter time siren, and we have been going nearly 27 minutes, I think we're in for one of the best grand finals of all time.
Madden goes up, backhands it down towards the boundary. Taken out there by Robertson. Hawthorn work it forward. In front, Silvani takes the mark. Scrambled kick came down from Di Domenico, but Silvani standing tall. He's had a wonderful game at fullback this afternoon. Son of a former Blues champ, goes in short and finds Alvin.
Tommy Alvin has been well on top of his opponent today, Gary Buckenara. I think the move might have been made. It's Russell Green standing on the mark. Out wide he goes. Bit of possession football here by the Blues. David Rhys-Jones.
They've had a look at the clock, do you, Pete?
They might have, because they didn't gain anything really by that kick. Centre wing. John Kennedy looking tired. Ayres is there. Gets in a hand pass. Michael Tuck towards half forward. It's no mark. No, said, great play there. Brereton kicks it away. Russell Green, one of the oldest players on the ground, is beaten by Kennedy. He's flattened after he kicked it. That could have been a free kick down the ground. New misses it. Young Pritchard is there. This is danger because Bradley's there, and it's play on, said the umpire.
I thought it was a free kick to Bradley.
I thought it could have been too, Bob.
So did he.
Bradley's kick. Ian Robinson called play on, and the Carlton supporters are not happy.
The free kick, 16 to Carlton as we watch now. It was just before that when I thought he was held on to. 16 to 21 in favour of Hawthorn.
Madden again wins it down. Taken by Nayley. Nayley goes down towards the pocket, wide of Mackenzie. Out comes Kernahan, couldn't take the mark. Off hands Abbott to Langford. He'll run it out. He goes to half-back. He's confronted by Johnston. Gets the kick in around the outer side. Brereton's up, fisted away by Rhys-Jones, who's been the master. Brereton comes back. His hand pass isn't a good one, thanks to the pressure of Rhys-Jones. Robertson has the ball on the outer side, pops it over the top. Mark is taken by Gleeson. Carlton move it forward again. Gleeson goes long. Kernahan wrestling down there. Knocked away by his marker Langford towards the boundary line. It's picked up by Ayres. Ayres pumps it around the outer side. Defiance in this Hawthorn defence. Crashing in is Nayley. Close to the boundary line. Over the ball is Alvin. He's held. Still it's Alvin battling with Buckenara. It's out of bounds. Throw in coming up.
Well, the umpires have at least been consistent. They haven't picked out any Tiggy Touchwood free kicks and the full marks of them. We thought earlier that probably Brereton should have picked up a few, but they've gone right through the game and umpired with consistency.
Well, there's Justin Madden, the big arms out to Brereton. I wonder if they'll move him to the back line today as he gets it across to Green. Green, a beautiful long kick. He's looking out there for John Kennedy, who leads Ian Aiken in the race for the ball, and young Aiken heads for the boundary line and puts it over the line. There's the siren. A very tired-looking Hawthorn. Have they got the legs? Have they got the heart to come back? Carlton look the fresher side. At three-quarter time, the Blues lead in this great grand final. 10-11, 71 Carlton to Hawthorn, 7-13, 55.
Forward.
Umpire Russo holds the ball aloft and away we go. Hawthorn trail by 16 points, looking for their place in the sun with back-to-back premierships. There's the bounce. It's one down by Madden, taken now by Jenke. Dragged off it, down he goes, battling in there is Kennedy, and we'll have a ball up as we go down to Barry Bree.
Very, very keen to get their players moving in this last quarter. Very tired players. They've had a very long day. Alan Jeans used the analogy of 1971 when St Kilda were 4 goals in front at three-quarter time and wants his players to come back the way the Hawthorn side did in 1971.
Still that temperature in the high 20s. Forced forward by Kennedy. Getting back in the race is Mew, hoping it will go out of bounds, and it does, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
I think Mew has been put back to full back against Mackenzie, and Brereton brought further up the ground.
And interesting that Greg Deere is off the ground on interchange, and his brother, young Paul Deere, would only be about 6'2". Say only, compared to his brother, he's not that tall, and he's doing the ruck work. Here's Nayley trying to crash his way through the pack. the Hawks get it out of defence, up towards the half-back line where young Pritchard, who's battled very, very hard today, the young Tasmania. Well, he's been quite impressive. Robert Walls, will he be coaching his first premiership side? He's played in a couple of winning ones as a great centre forward for Carlton. Now he's got a chance to lead the Blues through his coaching to a premiership. Lascott, Mew, and Chris Mew takes a safe mark in defence. The Hawks, they'll come back. They never give up this side, Dennis.
A remarkable team of footballers, aren't they? Chris Mew, felled last week, knocked out. I suppose he epitomises all there is to know about Hawthorn. This is Di Domenico, driving it long towards half forward. The leaper down there was Peter Dean. Waiting behind, though, no runners for Hawthorn. Alvin sends it wide, and Glascott takes the mark, and will get 15 metres.
Done a pretty good job against Clayton, Dennis.
Very good.
Well, he's had 11 kicks, David Glascott. I don't think Clayton would have had 11 kicks either, so he's certainly done his job, David Glascott. That Hawthorn forward line is not playing well. There's a nice mark to Ian Aiken. 10 kicks, in fact, to Platten, so that's not the normal John Platten game. Ian Aiken, oh, there's a little chip pass. This is bad defence by Hawthorn to allow Warren McKenzie, who is a great kick for goal, Warren McKenzie, to mark about 35 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle. Well, not good defensive play that by the Hawks. There's a lot of very tired defenders, and I think Chris Mew's the most tired of the lot. As we see, Warren McKenzie, 35 metres out, firing at goal. I think he's hooked it slightly. He has, and 1 point, and I think the Hawthorn supporters breathe again.
They certainly would, Pete, because they really have to kick the first goal. They cannot afford Carlton to get another break. They're virtually 3 goals down, 1 point short of that, and they have to get the first goal as Alan Jeans has a close look at the situation.
In the shadows of the Ponsford stand, Langford kicks off. He goes straight down the middle. Off hands, it's taken by Kennedy. He's been a fine player this afternoon. Pumps it back into the forward line. Kernahan leads in the race. Bounced awkwardly for him. Langford is pushed off the ball relatively easily there by Kernahan, but then is claimed by Ayres. Strong tackle by the Hawthorn vice skipper. He battles after the ball in the congestion, scrambles it back towards the practice wicket area.
Out on the
both
full.
players had a lot of trouble keeping their footing, and eventually it bounced off the Carlton player's boot and out of bounds.
Well, that's what you call luck of the draw.
Little things like that can make a big difference in grand finals. There's Paul Deere towards the centre of the ground. Di Domenico taken away by Johnston. Still got it. Oh, holding the man, said the umpire. Di Domenico was about to run with it, but it was a free kick, I think, to Wayne Johnston. No doubt he was grabbed after he disposed of the ball. He was playing for it. Got a little shove there, as you can see in replay.
They've got loose men everywhere. Out to Robertson. No man on him at all.
Well, Robertson from half forward brings it to the pocket. Bradley can't mark it. Chris Mew. Some very tired players. Peter Russokin is hobbling after the ball. He'll be praying it goes out. Robertson to Mick Kennedy, the back pocket player. Kicks it high. The pressure now on the Hawks. The big fist is away. Here's a goal coming up to the Blues. Into the open goal goes Gleeson, and it's a goal.
That was the goal that really counted, because I think Hawthorn had to win that, kick that first goal. We've said it a number of times now, but with tired players everywhere, on replay, off the hands of the pack. Adrian Gleeson takes it like the true rover, and that's what Hawthorn have lacked right throughout the game. At the other end of the ground, whenever the ball has hit the ground, their smaller players have not been at the feet of the pack.
Adrian Gleeson, the goal scorer. 5 minutes gone. The crowded fever pitch. Certainly the Hawthorn supporters trying to rally their team. Madden, as he's done all day. Got it out to Dean. On the overlap, the man who could be contending for the Norm Smith medal. That's Rhys-Jones. Through he comes. Kicks it long towards half forward. Meldrum is down there. Knocked away, but again, no ground support. Nailey just runs away from 3 Hawthorn players. He's going goalward, Mark Nailey. He's put it through.
Nailey kicks his first goal, and that was an excellent piece of football, and I think that really showed those 2 weeks rest and what it does for you. But apart from that, the speed and skill of Mark Nailey. He broke away, and the boy from South Adelaide puts it right through the middle. A great goal and a vital goal, one that would really lift the team.
Greg Deere is warming up on the boundary line. There's Mark Nailey. He came across from Adelaide. just to get the thrill of Victorian football, or Australian football as it is now, of course. 6 minutes gone, and Naley looks as though he will play in a premiership side. Hawthorn are a great side. They'll fight it out, but 5-goal start, and we've been going 6.5 minutes in the final quarter. Very tough task now. Let's see if they can come back. Half forward, here they come again, the Blues. Kernahan now gets into the action. He kicks a goal, is it another one? Yes, goal.
Well, they're really running hot at the moment. They can do no wrong, and that was set up by a burst through the centre by Wayne Johnston. He did not take the ball with him, but he forced it forward. There it comes now. Wayne Johnson got it out. Kernahan took possession, and Chris Langford has done a superb job, and yet Stephen Kernahan has still kicked 3 goals and set up for Carlton at this moment. But Hawthorn, we thought that last week.
Carlton have kicked the first 3 goals of the term. They lead by 35 points. They're playing on pure adrenaline at the moment. Johnston from Naley gets it across to support Kennedy, drives it long into the forward line, but a defiant mark is taken by Mew. Settles it down for just a moment. Chris Mew goes short. They need to dust themselves off and regain their composure and come again. Schwab drives it towards centre field. The leaper from behind was Rhys-Jones. Carlton claiming the mark in front. What's the umpire going to do? He's going to move in and ball it down.
Well,
Dean's in front. Did he mark it?
Either one of the 2 Carlton players for mine.
Pretty close to a mark, wasn't it? Still, we've got a bounce down in midfield. Just the start Hawthorn didn't want to this last quarter. Madden again, decisively. Gets it down to Kennedy. Gee, I've liked his game. To Aitken. Aitken goes long into the forward line. Too much carry on the kick. Mew gets back. Couldn't take the mark. Is harassed down there by Meldrum. And the ball's pushed across the boundary line. Now it's going to be a free kick. It'll be taken by Chris Mew.
Chris Mew, a very tired-looking Chris Mew, and a despondent-looking Russell Morris there on the bench. It's on half-back. Bradley towards half-forward, kicked off the ground by Ayres, and this will be a mark for big Justin Madden, and those big arms have certainly given them Carlton first use of the ball today. Over to Bradley, then on to Johnston. Johnston with that great kicking skills of his. A long kick to the forward line. The Hawk players desperately force it to the line. It's still in play. In fact, there's Dermot Brereton, who's had a very bad day. He's now in defence. Over to Kennedy. Kennedy runs to half-back. Maybe if they can score a couple of quick goals, it'll give them a bit of heart, but they're a tired-looking side. As taking the mark in the centre of the ground is Russell Green. To Peter Russo, who hobbles after that kick down towards half-forward. Curran. Now it's his teammate and Schwab. Dipier Domenico caught. Gets in the hand pass. Rhys-Jones has been superb as he gets it across to Bradley. The Carlton players running on, playing great football at the moment. Out wide to Johnston, and all the Carlton players, Bobby, are firing at the moment.
Oh, they've responded to the situation. They've lifted, they're running faster, they're jumping higher as Glascott comes forward.
Glascott down towards the pocket. McKenzie lunges at the ball, and he's picked it up only centimetres off the turf.
Brereton back on the forward line, Abbott down to defence.
So Warren McKenzie getting his chance today, probably through the absence of Satori.
And that McKenzie may have been on his own there because the move was being made.
Yeah, good point, Bob. Meldrum's coming off. It's hard to time too many changes in this Hawthorn defence at the moment because they're under pressure all the time. There goes the kick across the goal face, back into the air, off hands. A chance on the ground now for Dennis. Turns around, kicks it across his body. Socket out of midair by Dia. Is that a mark? I think it'll be paid. Yes, it will be to Carlton. Strong mark taken as the ball came out on the rebound. Big McKenzie got his hands up, and it stuck. Watch this.
Yes, a definite mark to McKenzie, and Carlton really playing with confidence sky high at the present moment as we see a Hawthorn player in the hands of the trainers.
I think it might be Chris Mew, Bobby.
Collins, I think it might be.
Is it? Well, there's another one goal.
Really starting to make it hard for Hawthorn now, and the problem with the Hawks at the moment is that it's one thing to come back against Melbourne another thing against a side that's playing as confidently as Carlton are at the moment and with as much skill as Carlton have at the present moment.
Some of the heads are down. That's not a good sign from Hawthorn's point of view.
14-12 to 7-13. Carlton in superb touch at the moment. Nayley really has come into the game towards half forward. Kernahan was at the front of the pack, kicked away in desperation by the Hawthorn defence. That was Chris Mew, but the ball stays in play. It's grabbed by little Fraser Murphy. Oh, great tackle by Collins and strong work by Abbott. Good play, the Hawks, but it was holding the man, I think, in the meantime, to Warren McKenzie. And Warren McKenzie has kicked one. Let's have a look what happens. Abbott, far too high, around the neck it was. Good umpiring decision. Warren McKenzie has only had 4 kicks, but he looks like he's going to play in a premiership side. There's the kick. It floats, and 1 point only. Coming off the ground is Russell Green. Will it be his last game for Hawthorn? He's had a bad day today, Russell Green. Paul Deere back on. So nothing going right for the Hawks at the moment. They've been really outclassed in this quarter. Bradley. Oh, geez, down Craig Bradley too. Platten has had a very quiet day. The Hawthorn Stars have been eclipsed today. There's Tuck to Brereton. Dermot Brereton, Peter Curran, Buckenara.
No hand pass.
Gee, a hand pass to Brereton was on there for a certain goal, but he had a shot at goal and kicked it out of bounds.
Yes, he had every opportunity to give the ball across to Brereton on that occasion. Foolish play. Now Buckenara indicating the hand passes in the foreground. Alan Jeans having a look in these last 2 meetings. The second semi-final, Carlton won by 15 points, and in round 14, Hawthorn by a point.
Boundary throw in. Madden worked under the ball. He'll get the free kick. Carlton have won 14 premierships. They share that distinction with Essendon. A chance this afternoon to move ahead, alone on top as he sends the ball around the outer side. Gleeson takes the mark out there. 14-13 to 7-13. It's one thing to look at the scoreboard, but to look at this game, the spirit is sagging away from these Hawthorn players minute by minute as Deere goes up, fisting it forward. This is a real test for them. Bradley's got the run of it, but he's content to let it go out of bounds.
And Michael Kennedy is playing a superb game for his side. He really thumped that ball back, and he's been an excellent player from quarter time onwards. Boundary
throw in, centre wing. That's the margin. Once more, Madden wins it down. Shark this time by Schwab. At close quarters, he gets it to Pritchard. Pritchard sends it high around the outer side. Aitken in from the side. Content to destroy, knocks it towards the boundary. Platten picks up, swings it down towards the forward pocket. Curran couldn't hang on. Carlton have got the numbers. In there again is Kennedy. Wide at the pack, a chance for Platten. He mishandled. That's most uncharacteristic, and the ball's out of bounds. Throw in coming up.
Half-forward flank. Let's look at that in replay.
As we see Platten, after fumbling it, was Ian Aitken who dived in and thumped it over the line.
Paul Deere having to do the ruck work and giving away many inches. Here's Michael Tuck, the Hawthorn champ, fires at goal. He's still battling away there. Dermot Brereton, is it still in play? No. In fact, it beat Dermot over the line, deep in that forward pocket. Look at the time clock. At the moment, it is 14.5 minutes gone. Final quarter. You see the look of disgust on Dermot's face as he couldn't keep that in play. Deep in that forward pocket for the Hawks. Big fist away, back to the line. It'll be another throw in. Russell Green is about to come on the ground for Hawthorn. Peter Russo off, a very tired-looking Peter Russo.
15 minutes and Hawthorn have not scored. Still
30 degrees Celsius. Buckenara grabs it off the pack and puts it through for their first score of the quarter. 1 behind, but they need a lot more than that. 7-14 they are. Carlton 14-13, and it looks like a Blues premiership for 1987. Dennis?
Yes, very much so, Pete. One of the reasons why he kicks in, that's David Rhys-Jones. He's closed down Dermot Brereton this afternoon. Coming in, Brereton, a real danger. And Rhys-Jones, well, he's a wayward customer, a controversial customer, but this afternoon, great coaching, I think, by Robert Walls. He challenged his star. And my word, he didn't let him down. Ball on the grandstand wing. Kernahan slaps it away. Dennis, a deft little touch. Got it down to Fraser Murphy. Hooks it around the corner. Only as far as Collins. Now he's away. Long hand pass. Sends Schwab away. Schwab gets it to Kennedy. Kennedy, a rather untidy hand pass taken by Paul Deere. Paul Deere swings it down towards full forward. Rhys-Jones in front. Race back for the ball. Well played, Rhys-Jones. Got goal side at Brereton. and ran it through for a behind. And that really tells the story of the afternoon.
It certainly does, and a great disciplined game this by David Rhys-Jones, and got to hand it to him. Dermot Brereton is a great player and a big-name player, but he's been really disciplined, punched the ball away, and has really been well on top all day as he gets it out to David Glascott, who has also been a very, very disciplined player too. The halfback, young Adrian Gleeson. Another short pass. Oh, they're just keeping possession of the ball at the moment to Nailey. There's Gleeson, though. They're full of running, the Blues. Onto the left foot, a lovely kick looking for Hunter. Fisted away by Mew over the line. Half forward for Carlton. 14-13. 97 the Blues. Hawthorn 7-15-57. 17 minutes gone. Final turn.
Boundary throw on Hunter's side. Scramble, as you can see, picked up by Deer eventually. Goes over the top, intended for Kennedy, going against the tight Glascott.
Dennis, I'm surprised that they just left Buckenara at half forward right throughout the day. He's superb game in the centre in the early final, and it's surprising when he's really being beaten badly up forward that they didn't go into the centre of the ground.
Been a very quiet player, Bob. Glascott slips over, taken by Tuck. We suspect he's had his nose broken today, Tuck. He started well. That was unfortunate, the timing of that injury. Rhys-Jones again knocks it towards the boundary line. Alvin, he's played a wonderful game of defence too, content to tie it up. And I think we'll have a ball up just inside the field of play, or is it out of bounds?
Every Carlton defender you could put that tag on, because they haven't had a weakness in defence. Silvani hasn't put a foot wrong. Kennedy in the back pocket, that was where he started. Every one of those players.
Half forward, this is for the Hawks. Let's see if they can salvage something as Paul Deer hooks it back. That was beautifully done. There's Curran, coming in to lend a hand. Was Robertson. Silvani was wrestling away with Curran, and Robertson was there. And the Hawks just haven't had the backup support for each other on the forward line. They've been well beaten up there. Gleeson receives from Silvani. What a great thrill for Sergio Silvani. Have his son playing in a premiership side. He played in them. And now his son's going to play in one as Richard Dennis takes a nice mark centre wing. Out to Adrian Gleeson. Gleeson to the pocket. Kenny Hunter. Well, beautifully done by Hunter, but those ageing legs of Hunter, he's looking tired too, Bob.
Yes, but Adrian Gleeson certainly not, as Robert Walls has a close look at the game. Gleeson has really come into the game in the last 5 minutes.
I think he's ordering the champagne, Robert Walls. Approaching 19 minutes, there's the throw-in, one down by Deer. Johnston scrambles at Goldwood. In the road, taken away nicely by Langford. Boots it back towards centre field. It bounces very high in the air, knocked on intelligently by Paul Deer. Kennedy lays it back into the path of Deer. He lumbers after it, can't control it, shows a lot of courage, dives on it, knocks it to Platten. Platten over the top. Now they've got a chance. This is Kennedy. Whoops. Kennedy, still some time. Hand passes it wide. Buckenara gets around the oncoming traffic. Back to Kennedy, who kicks into Silvani. Well, the confidence, the poise is gone from Hawthorn as Silvani, quick rebound, runs it out of bounds on the 50-metre line, and the Blues supporters ecstatic.
I think that sums the game up, Dennis. There it was on replay as Silvani came out, smothered it.
Well, here it is with Madden again. He hits straight for the line. They'd be quite happy now if it stayed out of bounds for the rest of the quarter, but a superb performance this at the moment by the Blues. They've had a great year. Terrific year, as has Hawthorn, to fight their way back into this grand final. But there's a lot of very, very tired players. Quite happy to see that ball out of bounds. Robert Walls, an excellent coach, Robert Walls. We've got plenty of material there to work with. And this certainly helps having a man of 6'10" at those centre bounces, directing that ball out all the time. Here's Peter Schwab, who's got such a big heart, over to Domenico, who's gone out of the game in the second half. Here they come again, though. The Hawks are still battling away as Peter Schwab marks at centre half forward. Robertson's done an excellent job on Domenico, Bob, in the second half.
He has. He was too loose in the first half.
Well, there's the short kick across to Darren Pritchard. And Pritchard will have to kick from about 45 metres.
Hawthorn are really doing it hard to try and get a goal, whereas Carlton looked so dangerous. If it wasn't for Kernahan's opponent, and that is Chris Langford, who knows what the score would be.
Official attendance, 92,754 as Pritchard shoots a goal, and the young fella has kicked it.
No need to say, a badly needed goal for the Hawks. If they can kick another one immediately, it will lift their spirits, but they need to have it straight away. And they still trail by 33 points. Carlton are doing the running. Hawthorn battling hard and certainly have got plenty of heart, but they've still got to get the ball and get it forward quickly.
"33 points the margin. Approaching 22 minutes now. Back in the middle. Madden, as he's done all day, decisively yet again to Gleeson. He was nabbed by Platten, socket forward off the ground by Dean, down towards the pocket. Leading in the race down there is McKenzie, finessing with the ball like a rover, and is content to run it across the boundary line. Some rovers would do a little better in that situation, but McKenzie prepared to work, and now he comes back to contest the boundary throw-in. Some of the crowd making for the exits, not many though, and of course the Blues supporters will linger. They're going to love what comes next. Boundary throw-in. The hit-outs, as you saw, dominated by the Blues. Nayley, clever, across towards Dennis. What a dream for him. Superb stuff on the cricket pitch area. Goes down towards the pocket. Awkward bounce. They've got the numbers down there. And now a chance for Fraser Murphy. Breaks away, goes goalward, and gets it.
Well, they're really showing the difference between last year and this year. Carlton, a far better side than this year. They were given a thrashing this year, and they're going to return the gesture this year. Last year they received the thrashing, and they're going to return that for compliment with really rubbing it into Hawthorn right now, as Fraser Murphy showed what the legs are left in the Carlton side, and Hawthorn have run out of legs.
Yes, far too good, the Blues today. A brilliant performance this by Carlton. That's Carlton's 50th century against Hawthorn. As we see, coming away with it, David Glascott, who's done a superb job today too, a very disciplined job, as have a lot of those Carlton men have manned up, and they have not wavered from their concentration all day. Scoring shots, 28 to the Blues, to Hawthorn's 20. It doesn't look a lot, but really Carlton have been the better side. Hawthorn has struggled very much so on the forward line. There's Wayne Johnson, another premiership coming up to Wayne. Russell Green, I wonder if he'll play next year. He's almost to the 300 mark. Brereton battling away. What a contest that's been. David Rhys-Jones has given away a free kick here. But
on replay, no doubt about the free kick, but as Peter said, what a superb job Rhys-Jones has done. Russell
Green could possibly be, I think he's contracted for another year, Russell. He's spent a few weeks in the reserves this year. Russell been a great player for Hawthorn towards the half-forward line. Chance for the Hawks now. I'm sure they would like to finish on, Bob, with a couple of quick goals.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Hawthorn's spirit would make them want to get a little bit closer. But Carlton have shown just as much spirit, possibly more, and they've shown the ability to go with the spirit.
Bounce in the pocket. Again, Madden buys a little more time, just hits it out of bounds. Walks 3 or 4 paces across to his right-hand side, and then will contest the boundary throw-in. He could win the Norm Smith medal. We'll get Bob's thoughts as the quarter wears on. Not long to go now. Kennedy, Johnston's got it. Swings it around the outer side. Kernahan sandwiched between Hawthorn players. This is Nayley. Sweeping hand pass. Sends Bradley away. Bradley, look at the pace. He decides he'll take them on around the outer side. He wins a free kick, or should have.
It was holding the man. He handballed it forward.
There's a full brother to holding the man if it wasn't.
He can't believe it, Craig. But Bradley, a great camera shot that.
I think the umpires are tired too. They couldn't be bothered running further down the ground. We'll have a throw in, fellas, they reckon.
Well, even young Darren Pritchard having a laugh about that. It's good to see a bit of humour, even at this stage in a VFL grand final, that the players can have a laugh. Young Darren Pritchard, he'll never forget this moment. Towards centre wing. Schwab has battled hard today. I'm surprised, though, they haven't tried Buckenara in the centre of the ground, because he's really had a quiet day up forward. Rhys-Jones, I think a big chance. 10 kicks and 6 handballs. Must have a big chance of winning that Norm Smith medal, Bob.
It's not just his possessions, it's the fact that he's cut out Dermot Brereton.
Madden knocks it forward again. That was a good ruck knock. He got it to Johnston. Must have heard Peter talking. This is Abbott. He's played the mark across half-back. Chip passes towards centre field. Kennedy. One sense just before half-time, Carlton were running the better, and certainly they've put that on the scoreboard in the second half. Ayres long into the forward line. Offhand Silvani. He's a master of getting the ball out of bounds, is Stephen Silvani.
He's played a great game.
He has played a great game. He's beaten everyone that his two former schoolmates.
And let's not forget the game of Chris Langford at the other end of the ground.
Yep.
Chris Langford has been superb playing on Kernahan. Kernahan's kicked 3 goals, but Langford has been superb under enormous pressure. There's Justin Madden. Lovely kick to centre wing. Very, very fresh and fit-looking Carlton side. Wayne Johnston. He will love this, Wayne Johnston. What a great finals competitor he's been over the years. There's Gary Ayres. He's a great battler too as he brings it towards the forward line. Curran couldn't take it. There's Tommy Elvin, another superb player for the Blues. Disciplined, tough, tight. Been a great player, Elvin, today, Bob.
Oh, he's put Buckenara right out of business, and that was a perfect example there. He just dived in and trapped the ball. Didn't try and hang on to it. No one had hold of him. And as we see the staff here at the MCG watching the situation.
That last pack was a hairdresser's dream. Knocked down there by Madden. Picked up by Rhys-Jones. Gets a hand pass out, and away comes Aitken this time. Aitken goes long into the path of Gleeson. Gleeson with runners inside. Pulls it back, intended for Hunter. Over the top came Mew. Close to the boundary line. The two veterans go at it. It's back with Nayley. Somehow he gets out of there. Back to Gleeson. Gleeson slides it across the face and through for a behind. They can do no wrong now, Carlton. 15-14 to 8-16. 27.5 minutes gone. And another page to be written in history. Carlton will be premiers. This is Dia. Carlton win the premiership in the first year of Australian football. This is Collins from half-back, running it out now for Hawthorn. Up towards centre wing, goes over the top to Kennedy. Kennedy down towards half-forward, back to Collins. Collins with dash inside 50. Can he kick a goal, the young fellow? No, he's missed, I fancy. Or has he? No, he's got it. He snuck it in.
Young Collins showing more legs than most of his Hawthorn teammates on that occasion. He really rose to the occasion, gave the hand pass over the top, came on, gave it to Kennedy, took it back again, and Collins really showing the dash that we're seeing from the Carlton side at the moment. But still, Hawthorn fighting it out, 34 points down at the moment. They refuse to give complete sway, but they're finding it hard with 28.5 minutes gone. It looks like it is going to be a Carlton flag.
Well, they hung in there with Carlton for a long time. Carlton now lead. They haven't been thrashed, haven't been disgraced, the Hawks, but certainly that they're a lot fresher and fitter for this game, the Blues. But look at them still battling it out. There's Schwab to Platten, who's had a quiet day, to Dermot Brereton, to Di Domenico. Here's a chance for a goal to the Hawks. Oh no, the mark wasn't taken by Peter Curran. Enormous pressure put on by Stephen Silvani.
He's cramped up there, Peter Curran, too. Nothing serious. No. It's a tribute to the running players of both sides. None of those players have cramped up this afternoon as the ball comes along the members' side wing. Kennedy opposed to Green. Green did it brilliantly. There's the siren. Robert Walls is elated. With him is Wes Lofts. And Carlton are premiers for 1987. An outstanding performance.
Yes, a magnificent performance by the Blues. They fully deserve the premiership. Robert Walls, their coach, is coming down now. And he deserves whatever accolades. The move of putting Rhys-Jones onto Dermot Brereton, a great success. But no matter where you look, the Carlton defence was right on top all day. Aitken did a superb job, although Kennedy was the best of the Hawthorn forwards. After he couldn't handle Ken Hunter in defence, he was moved down. Justin Madden almost did as he liked in the ruck. And Steve Kernahan still managed to kick 3 goals along with Craig Bradley, although in Kernahan's case he was well beaten all day with a superb performance by Chris Langford. He was a magnificent player for the Hawks. At no time did he really lower his colours. He continued to be on top right throughout, but a very, very happy Robert Walls coming across. Delighted Carlton supporters, their general manager Ian Collins down there, along with Tommy Elvin, Captain Stephen Kernahan. They deserve every accolade that one could possibly hand to them. Hawthorn, well, if there was a side that went in under a cloud, Chris Mew certainly wasn't fit. Neither was Russell Morris, but you can make no excuses. because Carlton, with a better side on the day, fully deserved their win.
So the scenes at the Melbourne Cricket Ground in the wake of what was a great grand final for 3 weeks.
Peter Motley out there, is it?
I think it is in the centre of that crowd, isn't it?
I'm not quite sure, but he'd have every right to be out there.
Stand by for the presentations. As I was saying, a great grand final for 3 quarters and Carlton breaking it open in the last quarter. Here's Ross Oakley.
We'll have the Norm Smith medal presented to him by the former Melbourne champion, John Beckworth. The winner of the Norm Smith medal is David Rhys-Jones.
The presentation of the Norm Smith medal. The bad guy is a winner at the end. It's got a happy ending. David Rhys-Jones is the Norm Smith medalist in the 1987 grand final. Well, how about that?
Well, I would like to say here that the Western Australian Tribunal were criticised for fining David Rhys-Jones, and it's no coincidence for mine that from that moment he has not put a foot wrong.
1987 Speedo VFL Premiership, it's the Carlton Football Club. They will have their medallions and the Premiership Cup presented to them by the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Bob Hawke.
Customary boos.
Right, we would ask the following players to come forward to receive their medallions, their Premiership medallions. If we can have number 1, Stephen Silvani. Stephen Silvani. Here he comes. Number 3, Richard Dennis.
Recruited from East Perth. What a season he's had.
Carlton's number 6, John Dorotich. The other Austin is coming down. Making his way through. Here he is, John Dorotich. Number 7, Wayne Johnston. Number 9, Ken Hunter. Number 12, Adrian Gleason. Number 17, Mark Nayley. Number 21, Craig Bradley. Number 22, Ian Aitken. Paul Meldrum. And making a return appearance by popular demand, number 26, David Rhys-Jones. Number 30, Fraser Murphy. Tom Alvin. David Glascott. 35, Peter Dean.
30, the fucking birdie, beautiful.
38, Shane Robertson. 43, Michael Kennedy. 44, Justin Madden. 45, Warren McKenzie. Would you welcome and congratulate the coach of Carlton, Robert Walls. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the skipper of the Mighty Blues, number 4,